hello. Welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 58 for March 17th, 2013. My name's Tony, and I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Mark and Jason.
Woo!
That's way too much excitement for me. Way too much.
Too early.
Yeah.
And you just heard from him. We have a returning special guest. This is a couple weeks.
I'm still special guest.
You're kind of like the fourth.
I need to be in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we need a term for me.
Yeah.
Mas?
Just Moss.
Yeah, just Moss.
It's,
Not
you
even
know what
a-
it is? It's exactly like he said. It's Moss. I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Anyway, welcome back to
Somebody
Sir.
has to, compete for the title of Mas.
Moss is more.
It's the Moss belt.
It's kind of like
on the wall.
It's kind of like American Ninja Warrior. You gotta jump up shit. And, yeah.
Anyway, how's everybody doing this week?
Pretty good.
Everybody had a good time?
I heard you were not having a good time.
No, I've been
once
having
again.
a rough month. I don't want to go through it again. It's just
Tony's life sucks.
that bad 2 or 3 days turned into bad consecutive weeks. So,
He got the hurt.
but
So did that cream work?
no.
He's got the HIV.
No, the TA broke. Trans Am's breaking.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Aside from that, I guess we can hop into our weekly roundtable and catch up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
I finally downloaded it because I got bored on Xbox. I finally played Fez, and I actually liked it.
Yeah, but that guy's such a tool.
He's a tool bag, but he actually made a good game.
Yeah.
It's a really good platformer. If you haven't checked it out yet, there's still the demos and trials out for it. Give it a shot. It's actually good.
Just don't pay for it. Screw that guy.
Yeah.
No. Anywho, I did World of Tanks. I actually was on Borderlands 2 quite a bit last night. I picked up Dead Space 3 finally. I like it. It's totally not like the rest of the series,
It's
though.
not a Dead Space game. It's just a good
No,
shooter, right?
it's a good shooter, but it's not a Dead Space game. I actually finally, after downloading it, I think the first week it came out, Happy Wars, I finally freaking played it. It's actually really good. Me and my buddy, who's a huge Sony fan, me and him used to play Fat Princess back in the day. We both agreed it's actually better than Fat Princess, so give it a shot. It's free, might as well. And I also did some Hitman to frustrate the hell out of myself. And
Well, it's only free to gold members.
is that what it is? Yeah, it makes it. Well,
If you're
yeah.
silver, they don't give it to you.
Yeah, I was to say it doesn't really make much sense because they do have the single player mode, but it's not what the game was made for.
Didn't you also do some World of Tanks?
Did I skip that? Yeah, I did some World of Tanks. Yeah, hell yeah, I did some World of Tanks. My new life goal is to work at Day One Studios, which just got bought out by my favorite company ever, which is Wargaming.net.
Nice.
So they actually have a few openings over there. So
In Russia?
no, funny enough, I was talking to a few. One of my teachers is actually he was actually one of the lead designers for Fear 3, but he was talking to some of the guys who still are at Day One, and they actually flew the core crew from Day One Studios to is it Poland? I think it's in Poland or Russia, where Wargaming.net is.
Basically, they broke away from the Soviet Union in 1991. That's what it was. I don't remember what country it was in.
Do you gotta relocate, or are you gonna work from?
No. I mean, they still have they basically pulled out the core crew from that. They 50 people, first class them all the way over there, and I had them check out the studio and had them I mean, it's kind of damn obvious what they're going to work on. They're going to work on the console version of World of Tanks. So they kind of got them involved in what they've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. So it was really nice of them. And from what I hear, Day One Studios is pretty awesome. So that's what I'm hoping to get a job at.
Good stuff. We wish you well, good sir.
I don't. Screw that.
Screw Mark. Screw Mark.
Screw that.
Where's the luck?
You're going nowhere. You're staying here to work on Moss's version of Darksiders.
Yeah. Oh yeah, how's that Kickstarter going? I saw some people who are like, "Hey, where's that Kickstarter going?"
Mobile version.
Yeah,
I did Need for Speed online some more. That's about
that game
all
looks
I've,
fun.
I've done. It is.
you know something you have to check out that I want to add in is go to YouTube and look up people trolling on the NASCAR game.
Okay.
It's god darn hilarious. It's a bunch of hicks who are screaming at each other, and then there's always 3 guys every server, no matter what game, what video you look at. There's 3 people who are driving backwards on the track.
I have
And there's always a car that when they hit, it'll go through the car and then it'll flip over. And then every single video, there's a car stuck in the track, so you'll use it as a ramp because the game's just so bad.
Oh, I was pissing.
hilarious.
I was pissing people off by taking my Raptor pickup truck and sticking it sideways on the on ramp for the meetup, so they couldn't get to the meetup. I think it's like I have an 86 or 76% rating on Xbox Live. The difference in percentage is aggressive gameplay, and that's all from Burnout.
Damn, Burnout.
That's all from Burnout.
That makes no sense. You're supposed to be aggressive in that game.
Well, not when you team up with Angry Andy and don't let anybody get anywhere. And like you will stop and wait for them to respawn just to hit them.
That rating system really matters.
Yeah, so people actually went under your account and downgraded you.
Yes.
That just makes
People
so
have pissed me off on Xbox Live.
I've done it before.
I never spent the time to sit there and downgrade somebody. I'm just like, whatever, they're being a dick. There's plenty of dicks on Xbox Live.
Aggressive behavior. What's your rating down to? His goal is to get it as low as he can.
70.
That's it?
You're down only to 70?
I got fucking knocked like 6% because of some friends or some shit.
Yeah, I'll knock you down, dude.
Goddamn
I was
friends!
at like 77 at the end of last year. Now I'm down to fucking 70.
I'll go on tonight and knock
That's
you down.
not low
Don't worry
enough.
about
No, he's got 70% negative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's got 70%
70% of the people who
negative.
played with you voted against you.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Okay. I was like, oh, people still like you? Man.
He
play with a lot
he
of
gets
dicks.
banned from Call of Duty all the time because they think he's got modded controller.
Really?
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
How about yourself, good sir? What'd you play this week?
I haven't played much at all. Most of my stuff has been packed up because I'm in the process of beginning to relocate.
Boo.
Yeah. I did play some, just Zelda stuff.
Yeah.
They're re-releasing Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages on the Virtual Console.
I saw that. It looks good.
Yeah, well, it looks good. It's the same game from 12 years ago.
They're getting.
Oh, yeah.
I misspoke. Yeah, excuse me. That they're getting more stuff.
Yeah, so I've been
Stuff is good.
playing through that and like polishing up some of our content at the Zelda site. And I've been resisting playing some League of Legends. Some of the
yeah,
guys on
resist.
my message board, they've been trying to like sucker me into playing League of Legends. We got like a whole group of League of Legends players.
Some of my former COH friends have
Something
transitioned
Heroes?
over. No, not that crappy game.
Shut up.
Have
So-
transitioned over to League of Legends and have been trying to convince me to play, especially since the Mac version has come out for it. I'm like, no, won't do it.
We have to lead the resistance.
Yes,
I'll
wait for SimCity.
So one of my buddies gave me Dota 2. It gives you 4 copies. You can turn around and sell those copies for free. I actually made like 4 cents yesterday.
If you sold them for free, how did you make money?
Because they have the you got it. So he gifted it to me for free, and then when you get Dota 2, they give you 4 copies to do whatever the hell you want with.
Okay.
And because they launched that
I'll take
Games
one.
Workshop,
You got 4?
You
Yeah.
sold them already for
no,
a
I
penny
still
a piece.
got
goddammit.
some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take
but
one.
you can actually sell them, and literally, like, you'll sell your game within like, I think it was like 20 minutes. Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I sold like 4 out of 5 of them because I was like, oh, whatever. So like, I actually got money from selling a game that I got for free.
You reach into your pocket right now, Tony, and take out any change you have to pay him for that.
Yes.
Only take out the change,
Well, it's
not
cool
the
because,
other
like-
stuff that
Yeah.
he talks
Yeah.
about.
Change.
Oh, that's right.
You actually
No
get to
change.
say how much you want from, like, one I put up for $1 just to see if I'd get it. I haven't checked it, but yeah, like, you can put up your games for, like, it's only working for Dota 2, but I think they're going to expand it into everything eventually.
Rock on.
What
I
about
guess-
you?
As for me, I only really played 2 games. I spent a majority of the week finishing up Tomb Raider. Did complete it now. Excellent. I don't want to ruin too much for
I was
those out there
asking
playing.
you if you were going to finish it because
I just finished it Thursday.
do me a favor, bring it with you to work Monday.
Okay.
I'm going to borrow it and play it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to play it.
Good for you. I think you'll
That's
like
a good
it.
game.
There's a lot of hints toward the Batman Arkham universe
That's
too.
what I've heard.
There's
And
a
that's
lot.
like fuck
Like-
Uncharted, Batman.
it is
Clearly.
when it got a little closer to the end, there was a few more Uncharted-esque things, but it still wasn't close enough for me to consider them like complete mimics of one another.
Brother and sister.
Tomb Raider was. I think they took some components from a lot of major games and kind of meshed them together, which is why I don't feel it was really a clone. Like there was a lot of Batman type things. There was some Uncharted things. There was It's too open to be an Uncharted game for me. It was like I was saying last week, you can completely upgrade yourself, all your weapons. You can backtrack. There's base camps. You can buy upgrades for stuff. It's very
Now that you've completed it, you were supposed to come back with an answer.
to what?
Boobs.
Unless there's some cheat code, no, she does not get naked.
Side boob.
No
side boob.
There's a little side boob.
Like,
Okay.
top boob.
Little side
All
boob.
right.
There's top boob.
There's a lot of top boob. A lot
Okay.
of top boob.
Top boob. We can work with that.
Yeah, it was an excellent game though.
Can you?
Sure.
I actually really enjoyed it. And then aside from that, I started God of War Ascension. And
Moss and I have spent too much time together this week. Trolling the entire TNA audience.
Oh, how'd that go?
I just told you how it went. We were trolling everybody the whole time.
was fun.
Starting WWE chants at a TNA show.
Well, that was just
They
bad.
didn't throw you out.
No.
God of War Ascension was cool. I not too far into it. I'm only about an hour in. I'm enjoying it. I was telling these guys at lunch before we got over here that it's probably the best looking console game ever. That went to Halo 4 before, but now seeing this is the best looking console game I think ever. So I'm not that far into the game. I'll probably have it completed by next week though.
Reviews have been pretty solid for it. I looked at game rankings. I think it's like at 83% or something like that.
It's pretty good still.
Because like I'm a little behind in the next because there's so many games coming out rapid fire now. I mean I got Gears of War coming out in 2 days. I don't think I'm going to touch it much because I'm going to finish God of War first.
You think so?
And
Until we
then-
start bugging you.
No, I know. And
Bug
this
me.
is the same thing.
Bug
With,
the crap out of me.
the same thing
with Tomb Raider.
The
right?
same thing, yeah, and the same thing with BioShock. I'm going to tear through it because I'm assuming Gears of War between the story. I'm probably going to run through it 2 or 3 times with Angry Andy. That we were going to play a lot of Horde mode and all that crap again. That's probably the game that I'm going
Horde
to be
mode's gone.
playing all summer. Whatever, Overrun. It's the
Yeah,
same
okay.
shit.
I know. I thought it would be like all of it. Is Beast mode in it? Does anyone know?
No, it's Beast Mode. Overrun is the merger of
Yeah.
Horde and Beast.
That's
together.
kind of disappointing to me. Beast
Well,
was
we
my
don't know what it's gonna
favorite
be like
part
yet.
of 3.
The point is that's what I think is going to carry me through 90% of the summer is going back and then I'm going to turn into an achievement whore with that game and I'm going to want to try to unlock everything.
Where you at?
And, in terms of what?
Your gamer score.
Oh, I don't know, 39 something, 39,500.
Weren't you trying to hit 40 before
I
Christmas?
gave up on that. When I missed, I just gave up.
screw it.
I was just like, forget
He
it.
had a week left, and
Yeah.
he could have done it.
Yeah.
But he was Netflixing
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah, I
week.
was Netflixing.
Netflixing.
But then, I mean, there's really, after all these games, because I'm going to get through these single player games that really have no multiplayer purpose to me, like God of War or BioShock. And then that's going to carry me to Last of Us.
When is The Last of Us? Is that May?
June
June.
17th?
But again,
a summer game.
that's a single player game. It's a 15-hour campaign. As soon as I tear that through that, it's just going to be back to Gears of War until the new console
I am
launch.
so disappointed that is a single player game.
What's that?
Last of Us.
There's
Why is that
multiplayer.
disappointing?
For campaign, there's not though.
Oh, it's not co-op. you mean?
Oh, you mean co-op?
Yes,
Co-op's
when they announced that game, I was so digging it. I was so into it. I was praying because
Nobody would want to be the little girl.
I would. I'd be her because she's. I guarantee you, Angry Andy would be her because she's the stealthy character. She's the one sneaking up on people. Guaranteed. That's who he'd be.
My sexy news paper has been upgraded this week.
Okay.
I drew lines on it.
Oh man, that looks
Before we move on into your news, we do want to do a quick shout out to our buddy and close friend, and he's been on the show, Adam. We want to send him our condolences. His father passed away yesterday. His father was named Terry. He supported Adam's video game addiction very severely by spending upwards of $1,300 on one Christmas to pay off all his pre-orders.
It's pretty crazy.
$1,300 in pre-orders.
$1,300 in pre-orders.
That must have been a really
walked
good year.
in and literally, like, I was working the register, goes, hey, I don't know what to get Adam for Christmas, so I'm paying off all his games.
Did he realize how many games there was?
He knew. He knew.
Okay.
Because Adam never had his own money on him. He always got money from his dad. So Adam will be back on sometime soon here. But in the meantime, we want to send him our well wishes and hope he's doing okay. Cool. Now you can go ahead.
Sexy news.
Here's where the porn music kicks in.
Yeah, right. So the sexiest news story of the week, and by far the only cool ever story to happen this entire year, Saints Row 4 got announced.
Woohoo!
And it comes out 3 days before my birthday.
So what do you think about the trailer?
It had their comic style in it because they misspelled row, and they're like,
Yeah.
I think we forgot a letter. Sorry.
I got distracted by that trailer.
There
There was a lot going on.
Half second clip letter. Half
Yeah,
second
I
clip
know.
letter.
I don't like that style of trailer. And I was really getting annoyed with it until they misspelled the letter. I'm like, hey, I think they okay.
Oh, they're acknowledging it.
Yeah, okay.
I love the guitar gun. They're like guitar
gun.
rocket launcher.
Yeah, and then I don't know what it was. The gun that blew the guy's head, like it just expanded.
Yeah,
like
his
4
eyes
times.
were bulging out of his face.
Yeah.
It looks very Saints Row 3-ish. Like they
Well,
didn't. I don't even think they changed. I know it started off as Enter the Dominations.
It was supposed to be 3.
It was supposed to be an expansion to 3.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like this is going to be a full-fledged game, even though they're going to treat it as such.
Well, from what they said, the expansion pack already was pretty expansive in itself, where it was supposed to be like a 10 to 20 hour campaign. So when they gave them an extra year on it, I'm hoping that gave them probably another like 5-10 hours of actual gameplay.
I was disappointed with the trailer.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you want to see?
No giant purple.
Oh yeah, I heard that was the biggest complaint. Where were the giant purple?
Where's
dildos?
the dildos?
Yeah. What was it?
You're looking a little confused.
Yes.
All right.
There's a melee weapon in Saints Row 3. It's
like
quite literally it is a
It
giant
is.
purple dildo bat that you go and knock
You just slap people around
over the head with. Yeah.
It's literally the entire appeal of
The game is really off the
the
walls.
entire
Yeah.
yeah.
I got that much.
It's
Wasn't expecting giant purple dildos.
They're there.
it's outrageously fun though. Like everything about it, because they're so not serious about anything. They make it work.
Are you surprised by the August release?
No, they gotta get out
I'm
before.
not.
They gotta get out before.
Because it was supposed to come out in September
When is GTA?
last year.
September 18th, 17th.
17th.
Because it'll decimate Saints Row. It's got to be out before that.
Either had to be right before, 6
Or
months
way
after.
after.
Yeah, they're giving it a good month in advance. So
They have to. Everybody's got to steer clear of Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, because that'll probably like 2 weeks right there. That
The only one that
anything.
it won't affect anything is COD. But
Yeah, that'll be
right under COD
November.
has got to be Grand Theft Auto. Those are like.
The fall lineup is starting to fill in a little bit.
It really is.
This is what I was expecting to happen as soon as the newer consoles were getting announced.
But these are all
because-
current gen consoles games.
Yeah. They
Yeah. No, I don't know anymore. I think a lot of them are coming out on both.
You know, a lot of them, when they say
It could
coming
be.
out on both, I think that's just like it's just like a facade a little bit. Like
Yeah.
they might say, yeah, Saints Row 4 launch title for the PS4. It's the exact same game.
Yeah.
Nothing is changed. Nothing is upscaled. Nothing, but just it comes in PS4
Format. Yeah.
They ported it to the PS4.
Yeah.
I
Which
think
could
you'll
be
see
a
lot of that,
possibility
but-
to help out their launch catalog to bring over the games that came out like the month before or whatever.
Right. I don't know. Like people, this is what happened with the Wii U. A lot of
Yeah,
games,
you got
like
the games like
Assassin's
Batman,
Creed and Batman
Assassins,
and Mass Effect. And,
yeah.
Well, Wii U was different because they went like a year back.
They had,
Like these
well,
these
for
these
some
are games that'll be the only game that they got relatively
close.
was Assassin's Creed.
Well,
I mean,
Darksiders was just a few months.
yeah, it was 4 or
We're
5
talking the
months.
same-
Batman was a year. Mass Effect was over a year.
No, 9 months.
Yeah,
But I'm
It
thinking
was
like Darksiders was a prime example. That came out in August and then November. It was a port. I think the same thing might happen with Saints Row. But
Well, I don't think Saints Row. I think Grand Theft Auto is what I was talking
maybe
about.
Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto. But it's going to be I still think that third parties are not going to jump on board with new consoles until well into 2014.
Well,
Maybe even into 2015 a little bit. Everything's going to be current gen ported up.
from a survey from GDC that came out a few weeks ago, there's considering it's about like 5% of all developers were working on Wii U games when almost it was like 11 point something percent were working on PS4 and 720 titles already. So they're already at a point where they do have quite a bit of the industry working on stuff already.
Right, yeah, if they're working on it now
It won't come out for over a year.
with a 2-year life cycle,
Possibly, yeah.
we're not,
We'll see. I don't think everything's been announced yet. I mean, we haven't even started everything yet.
E3,
Like
yeah, the
PAX
big
hasn't hit yet.
conferences are
GDC
now
hasn't hit yet.
till
Gamescom
June.
hasn't hit yet.
But-
E3 hasn't hit yet. It's like
Just basing on what Moss is saying here, when you think about, you go to any console release that I've been a part of, you get that, 30, 35 games right around that quote-unquote launch window, and then you
there's a
have,
drop-off, I know.
exactly, you have
Yeah.
that long period of time. So, I mean, we would be theoretically looking at this time next year to start seeing the console start to pick up again.
Yeah, I think this time next year we might start seeing. Good look, if you're a third party, unless you're going to release an established franchise, the new Assassins will be on there and call it whatever, all that what I consider junk.
Yeah.
But in
I
terms
have a
of new
rant
IP,
on that later.
in terms of new IPs or more experimental stuff that they're tossing on, they're going to wait.
Yeah.
Because nobody's going to want to go head-to-head in the fall with any of these.
Yeah.
Because gamers are going to be shelling out $400, $500, $600.
They're going to stay in that safe zone of stuff that they know. And
Yeah.
that they know that they like.
People who buy a PS4 this holiday are not going to get 5 or more games for it. They're going to
just
get
shelling out so much for the system.
Yeah.
You get like
And I think that's probably going to... Anything they buy then and at launch, they're not going to buy an additional game for another 5 months, probably, because they just,
Yeah, I agree.
probably have to take out like a second mortgage to buy these consoles.
$5.99 US.
So, I don't know. I think for third parties, they're going to see the install base. Like this time next year, maybe there's combined 12 million 720s and PS4s. And be like, all right, there's 10 million of these consoles and
75,
150 million of the previous gen, maybe even almost 180 when you count the Wii U and when you count the next year of sales. They're going to be like, all right, I can, even though it's an older system,
You can still generate more revenue that way. Yeah.
And I think there's going to be all these fake ports. These like, oh, it's on the PS4, but it's really just the PS4.
You had a lot of that. I believe going back to the 360 launch.
like Gun was by launch.
Yeah, Gun, Tony Hawk, Need for Speed, Most Wanted, Madden, which was a few months
These
old.
were all PS2 games,
These
right?
were all
That were-
PS2
Yeah,
games,
basically.
with the exception of Perfect Dark and King Kong and Cameo. I think were the only.
I think Condemned.
Those were-
Was Condemned the launch title?
Yes, Condemn was in the launch. Yeah, so you got
Yeah.
4 out of what? Like I just named like in
10
total
games.
like 10. Yeah, and that's not including the basketball games and all the other crap that they just easily poured over.
Right. Yeah.
There was also the outfit, but nobody cared about that game.
I, don't know,
Cool
I-
idea.
I-
Kinda
I
fun.
think when they launch, I think PS4 is going to have a little bit of a better library at first.
First party.
Just
First
because,
party
just
stuff.
because of all the first parties that are confirmed coming
Yeah,
out.
good- every
with
one of their
PS4.
studios
They got
has
like
something.
12 studios working
Yeah.
on stuff
Right.
right now. Where even if Xbox opens a couple new studios that we don't know about, at best they're looking at 3 or 4.
This
games.
is in my memory. This is the first time for Sony that they actually have a strong development team for that launch window.
They had it with the Vita, but the problem is the Vita right now is going through what Mas is
Yeah,
talking about.
it's going through some growing
right
pains, yeah.
now there's this big gap of not too much games coming out. It stopped a month or two ago, and I think it's going to kick off heavily in the fall with the PS4 because there's going to be so much connectivity.
Like with the PS2 and the PS3, those killer titles, those launch titles, just they weren't there.
PS3 took forever to get
Yeah.
some.
But if you're a first party developer, now, Sony's saying, here's all your money, take all your time, get this game ready. They've been working on some of these launch titles probably for a year and a half. So, if that at launch, like what's going to come out? The new Infamous, isn't that coming out near launch?
There's that the car game. I can't think of what the hell it's called right now. Drive Club.
Drive Club, yeah.
Let's look at Infamous.
It's like Driver's not this generation, buddy.
Let's say in the first 6 months of the PS4, it sells 5, 6, 7 million units. Let's say Infamous 4, is it? Wait, what number?
Infamous 3.
It'd be
It's technically
3,
3,
but
but it doesn't have a number
It's a
attached to
reboot.
it.
Okay, whatever the Infamous is, say it sells 400,000, 500,000 copies. They might lose money on that game, but they don't care because it's a system seller to an
Exactly.
extent. Third parties can't take that risk because they're not recouping any money from hardware sales or future sales of the hardware.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we'll see a lot of first party games
Oh yeah,
in the launch.
and you'll see your stupid ports, your sports games, your shooters.
Yeah,
easy
those,
stuff.
Those are not video games.
Yeah.
All right.
Next story.
Cool.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I know Mas definitely wanted to rant about this one. Lego City, the digital version that will be launching, is it next week, Lego City?
I think it's right now.
Right, Matt?
Oh, like today? That actually could be. Okay.
Sundays.
Right, Matt, Tony.
Yeah, so if you get the digital version, it actually requires an external hard drive.
Yeah.
This
Have they confirmed if that's the standard version of the system or the deluxe?
well, even if it's the deluxe, that would mean was it 8 and 32?
2, yeah.
Yeah, so even of the 8, how much of that is already used by Wii U?
System updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not put enough space in here. They went into the Wii U knowing that everybody's going to need to upgrade the hard drive at some point. The thing is, I think for the average gamer, and I'm not we're all pretty knowledgeable with everything.
What were you doing in there?
My fucking zipper fell down when I sat down.
Okay.
It unzipped.
Okay,
Chili dog.
Don't get too excited, Tony. For the average, I think the Nintendo Wii U owner, like just the person who gets his 4 or 5 games a year or so, I don't think they really understand getting an external third-party hard drive, plugging into the Wii U, and then using that's complicated. Even I would be a little confused on how that would work. So I think this hard drive space is a problem, and I think Nintendo's going to have to come out with a 100 gig model.
Yeah,
I think eventually they'll have to upgrade it with the system because now they're trying to pull off the almost required add-on with because they do have it's like a 750 gig hard drive you can buy right off the bat.
A Nintendo branded one?
I believe it's Nintendo branded, and then they have a Toshiba one, which is like a terabyte one.
It'll accept anywhere up to 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
But no, I think normally you'd be right, but I just with the Wii U, I think the savviest gamers are the only ones that own it right now.
Really? You think so? Okay.
I think a lot of people are still confused over the marketing that Nintendo's done, where a lot of people think this is an add-on for the Wii.
Yeah, there's a lot of
where
confusion.
I think only the most savvy, the people in the know,
who actually looked into it.
Yeah, are the ones that own Wii U, and they'll understand. They're guys that are sitting there hitting refresh on IGN all night. You know what I mean?
You mean those are guys who are on Zelda Dungeon all day?
Yes, totally.
No, IGN. Keep the sponsors
refresh
proper.
on Zelda Dungeon.
Hitting refresh on Zelda Dungeon all night.
Yeah, waiting for that new fan artwork post or something.
Yeah, I do.
But Lego City, I heard good things about review scores. I think Edge gave it a 9.25.
Yeah, it's gotten really good reviews.
I was interested in it too. I'm actually thinking about getting it for 3DS when it launches. I think next month or late this month or something.
If I would have gotten a Wii U, this would have been my second game.
Yeah, this is definitely when I do get a Wii U, this is one that I'm buying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see this. Is this? Quote me if I'm wrong. Is this the first time a Lego game has been a unique game coming out like in this fashion?
No, because
they had the handheld ones. They had Battle Ninjago.
Yeah, but those weren't done by Traveler's Tales.
Because the Vita one's completely different.
This is the first time that Traveler's Tales, the guys who have reestablished the Lego franchise by doing all the different
they did Batman and Indiana Jones.
And all those.
Who makes the handheld ones then?
Different
because
people.
Those were totally different. They're both unique.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time that the Traveler's Tales, the guys who have done the amazing work with the Lego games, have released their own property instead of using a movie franchise or whatever the case may be.
It definitely comes off as a cool looking game too, because it looks kind of like they're playing off like the cop drama thing,
right?
With it.
Yeah,
and it looks really good.
It's like a kid Lego.
It's like Grand Theft Auto with Lego.
I don't really know what the genre is, who the target audience is.
Yeah.
If you go back and you spend a little time with Lego Batman 2, that's actually open world also, and you can do some similar things in that.
I've only played Lego one. I think it was the first Indiana Jones. That was the only one I played.
You're so missing out.
Star Wars: The Complete Saga is really good.
Complete Saga's good. Both the Batman games are phenomenal. Harry Potters.
Yeah, I was just saying, I heard the Harry Potters
are great.
So I've never seen them, so I wouldn't get the references.
Indiana Jones is considered one of the better or weaker ones.
Yes.
Oh, because I like that one.
If you like Indiana Jones, you will love the other one.
As long as you get the references. Like I would never play the Harry Potter one because I've never seen the movies.
Right? Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
I wouldn't get because you know how the Lego games are constructed where they don't actually talk.
Well, now they do.
They just go.
Now they talk.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
yes. Lego Batman 2 and Lego Lord of the
Okay.
Rings. They actually talk. In Lego Lord of the Rings, which I'm currently starting to play. They actually have sound bites from the movie.
Oh,
so it's actually
awesome.
you hear the actors.
Because I remember like doing the Star Wars one, and it's sitting there like they're sitting there and they're doing the these aren't the droids you're looking for, and you just see him go, and you know what he's saying.
And like when he cuts off his hand, it's the little Lego hand that falls.
And I thought that stuff was like cool. I thought that was half its charm. But yeah, I haven't played more of the recent ones.
Honestly, you can get the references. You don't have to have seen the movies and
For Harry
everything.
Potter, I really don't think I'd understand it.
You will. They do it in such a style that you don't have to get the dialogue to understand what's going on.
Okay.
You really do.
I think this game for the Wii U has to sell well because this is their only good exclusive. It seems right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's not first party, and it makes me wonder.
When's Pikmin coming? Isn't that soon?
Yeah, in May I want to say. But I'm curious to know why. Why do you think they've made this a Wii U exclusive?
I don't know.
It's kind of like an oddball exclusive.
Yeah.
Like it has to sell well. Like I'd say it has to be the third best selling Wii U
they
games
have
after
they have
Nintendo landed
a
Mario.
great track record. There's no reason that they couldn't have put this out on multi-platform.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't think they use the game.
I really don't. Couldn't tell you
Yeah,
if they
they
use any exclusivity.
We
Heavily
don't.
gone into
We don't know until it launches. They could still pull.
I think it's out right now.
Is it?
It might
I think
have
it's
come
It is
out
a Sun-
today.
I think
it
it's
is a
out
Sunday.
today.
Okay.
It's either
It is a
today or
Sunday.
next week. I think it's today. Review's already out, so
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
I think-
then it'll be fine because I was gonna say that I was thinking it was still a couple weeks away. I was gonna say they could pull
Ubisoft. With,
Rayman.
Yeah.
I really
I'd like to see
want
it on
this
other
to do good.
systems, but otherwise I'm gonna buy it in my 3DS anyway because that's like a week away, I think, or 2 weeks away.
maybe they'll do it like 6-month delayed release on the other.
That's a possibility.
That's
too.
probably inevitable, actually, because I mean it's not going to sell a million units. On
Yeah.
the Wii U, no way. So
The Lego games. I mean, I understand all the other ones have been multi-platform, but they generally do pretty well.
yeah, they do.
You know,
Pre-orders
so-
were pretty good. I was looking at like VG charts. The pre-orders they were pretty solid, but like it's only on one console that
Yeah.
doesn't have a big install base, so
Yeah.
it can't. It's not like 30% of Wii U owners are going to go out and buy it. So.
Yeah, I wish them well. I hope that 30% of the install base goes out and buy it.
I want 31% to go do
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah, I want 32.
Yeah.
Oh, what
fuck is this
Price is
Price is
Right? Damn, Price is Right. All right, cool. Going on my next story. Minecraft actually unveiled a subscription-based plan that will actually end up making them more money than they've made so far. It's supposed to target...
Microtransactions?
No, like it's just, okay, so it's really weird. From what it sounds like, they're gonna redo a lot of the back end of the game to make it where it can be almost like an MMO when you buy this subscription. And basically, you buy a plot of land where only you can modify things unless you give special permissions. It's kind of like how the PC one works with certain mods on. But
Wait,
basically,
this is for Xbox? Will let you do
yeah,
this?
it would be on Xbox.
Oh my god.
And
I'm so
I
excited
believe
now.
they're also going to do it on PC. I don't see why they wouldn't. But basically, you're going to get like a small plot of land. You can do whatever you want on it. And
We're
then
building Paragon City.
It'll be $10 to $15 a month. It's targeted towards parents who play with their children because apparently they unveiled that like there's actually quite a big percentage of people who play like that.
Yes.
So basically, it would keep them away from potential people who would suck.
We're rebuilding Paragon City. They also, I don't know if you have it on there, side note, they announced a retail disc version.
They did. I was going to bring that up too.
Okay.
You can actually, if you don't have internet, because I know there's been probably a ton of people who don't have the means to download the actual game, even though it's really small. But they have a retail version coming out. I think it's in like a month or two. It's really close.
Yeah, it's this spring.
And it's only $20. So if you want to pick it up, it doesn't cost you anything more, and you get the full disc version with full functionality to the download version and all the updates you would get for the digital one as well.
Nice.
How many of our audience members are listening to this podcast,
While playing Minecraft?
but do not have means of downloading?
This is true.
I thought you were going to go the other route. I'm like, people keep wanting us to play Minecraft and
Yeah,
do
I
a
was
We
like-
Play for Minecraft.
I actually...
We're doing
'cause you're
it,
talking
Andy.
about the disc, right?
Yep.
Because I was zoning out for half a second. I actually experienced it a lot at GameStop where children...
that's what I mean.
Children come in, like very
Yeah.
young kids that don't understand how downloading works or that parents don't want to put credit cards. And I try to explain to them, hey, we sell the Xbox points cards where your kid can't do anything beyond your $20 or $50 that you load them up with. And you try to explain it, but a lot of parents are weary.
They're still very weary of that online component.
They just want to come in, and if there was a physical disc that
Yeah.
they could buy, I
They
actually
do
think
it.
this will do well.
I do too, because I still get Minecraft is still one of my top selling games in my store, and I do get the
I sell
one,
I sell a couple of Shift.
yeah, I know, me
digitally.
too. And literally, once one out of every like 20 or 30 people will be like, "Well, I actually don't have internet or a way to download it." Or
They
something.
come in with the digital down. What do you?
You,
what do
you
they
buy
get?
you buy a code
You buy
for
a
the
code.
digital
Really?
download
Oh,
for
okay.
it.
We
Yeah.
just sell them the receipt with a code at the bottom.
Yeah,
Just so that
Or
they
the
don't
PC
have to
version.
Put their credit card on. the
Yeah.
internet.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that they did
Yeah.
that.
yeah, it sells
Cool story, bro.
very well.
Cool story, brah.
Right. Anyway, moving on, next sexy story. The Vita, for the first time ever, actually outsold the 3DS in Japan this week, thanks to its price cuts.
Thank
I believe
God.
Tony
Oh
has
my God.
much more to say about this.
No, it's just it's the first time ever, including launch week, which is pathetic. Because launch week, you should have beaten the 3DS that was out forever. I understand everything post that, but launch week, you should have beaten them. This is the first week ever. I was actually a little scared that it was only going to be that initial week of good sales because you only had those 60 or 70,000 people that were waiting for that price drop. fine. Now they bit that the price dropped, and now you're done again. But they actually grew week over week, where the second week after the post price cut is actually
like 70,000
higher. Yeah, they're just shy of 70,000 now. I still think a lot of it has to do with a couple of the Monster Hunter clones that came out. They both got launched within the last month, and they're really helping. One of them is Phantasy Star Online 2, and the other one's, I don't know, I can't think of it right
Something
now.
with
They're Monster Hunter clones, basically. Those things are huge out there, and I mean, I'm just glad this thing's finally starting to move units, because I'm starting to get scared. It's very selfish of me, but I'm starting to get scared that the Vita is on the verge of getting caught in one of those traps where there's no units, there's no units sold, so nobody's making games for it. Right. And because there's no games for it, you're not selling any units, and you're stuck in this.
There's no way to win on that.
Yeah, this no man's land of what do we do now? And the more games that are coming, or the more units that they push out the door, the more developers will have a bigger install base, and they won't be as scared to develop more games for it. It's just, like I said, it's for selfish reasons, but it's the truth. I don't want to own this awesome piece of tech that just
doesn't have games.
You know what I mean? So, this is just good news.
Yeah.
I don't want to, you talk friendly shit and stuff, but I don't want to see any of the 3 companies fail.
No, I mean,
you know what I mean? It's all friendly to go back and forth, like, your online sucks, or you got no games, or whatever. But in all honesty, you don't want to see any of them bomb out. There's only 3 companies left, and we see how the market's going. It's getting scarier and scarier for these hardware developers to even stay profitable while doing this. You know, so.
Way to bring the mood down, Tony.
That's all.
Yeah, right.
It's a good thing. I'm
this
happy.
is a good thing.
Yeah, this is good news. Good for Sony.
Well, if you're somehow down, Jason, I'm going to bring you up. American McGee right now is gauging interest for Alice 3.
Segue. You're getting really good at these segues. I like
know.
it. Yeah.
Was that even the next story? Did you
It was.
Okay.
Tony's the only one that goes out of order with the news. he has no, he writes everything in a nice, neat order, and then he completely jumps around and scribbles. And
Well, I go with the flow, because, topic of the week is always here and there. It just jumps.
Because then we go ahead and then we blow up stuff.
It's just Tony's bad.
Yes.
So American McGee, they're the guys from...
American McGee is the guy. He's actually a person. That's actually his name. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Well, I just thought it was his pen name,
Yeah, well, the company's Spicy Horse.
Yeah, Spicy Horse.
And this is a forward compatible favorite from when we started with their couple. The most recent one, which is Alice Madness Returns, and I love the one before it, which was a PC only game, but then got ported.
Yeah, you got it when you bought Alice Madness.
It was your online pass, basically.
Yeah,
which was the coolest way ever to give you an online pass.
Yeah, it was.
Your online pass wasn't
worth it.
That's the kind of stuff that they should be like.
You got a game with your online pass.
Yeah, thinking outside the box with this stuff. It's like, well, if you buy used, you don't get the free game. That's a cool way to combat it instead of tacking on multiplayer.
Yeah, because nobody cares about Catwoman. I'm being honest. That was stupid.
Catwoman?
Yeah,
from
for
Batman.
Yeah,
that was
had
your
to have-
online pass, or for buying it. New was you got Catwoman, but then GameStop worked it out.
Yeah, they
gave it away free. But still, that it's thinking outside the box. It's better than tacking on multiplayer.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I mean, it's cool. Or like I've mentioned before on the show too, with what Halo 4 did. That was great. Where they're like, you're gonna get there's ways to combat piracy and trade and use game sales and stuff. So whatever.
So anywho, might have an Alice 3 coming out. You should check it out if you are of age. It is a messed up version of the Alice in Wonderland.
Extremely. Well,
it's actually more on par with the real story. If you actually,
it's all about.
That's why I said, as you know,
because Disney really
Disney
fluffed it.
It's Disneyfying. Is actually it's a coin to word.
They actually did the same thing with Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz, the movie that you guys have probably seen, is not what the story was meant to be like. It's a very dark, twisted world, and then they were just they Disneyfied it.
Yeah, Disneyfied it.
Yeah, where everything's
Kim,
like happy
Kim
go lucky.
is a huge Alice fan, and she's actually the one that picked up that game. And I watched her play through it, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
It's messed up.
And I mean, like, she has all the books and everything. She's like, "No, this is like how it's supposed to be."
Yeah,
she's a troubled little girl that retreats into this world in her mind. So
yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm hoping I'll have to go look into it more because there might be like a website you could like sign up and be like, hey, I'd buy this if I.
Well, he's gauging interest right now.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if he has a website up. I have to look more into it.
Have you tried any of them?
Nope.
Okay, give it a shot.
Okay.
It's
You could pick them up both games on Steam for like $10 right now, and you'll get the first and the second one.
Yeah.
all the different worlds are set up kind of almost like dungeon structures and everything, and it's actually really cool.
Just it has dungeon.
No, I'm just like I don't want to say
it's
that
got dungeons.
I didn't want to
it.
say that it plays exactly like
dungeons.
It plays
I've got a
similar
dungeon
to.
Moss's
It
dungeon.
plays similar to a Darksiders or a Zelda in that regard. It's really cool.
Moss, he wears green. You got to play it.
Hey, I'm not the one wearing the Zelda shirt. Okay,
I am wearing a Zelda shirt. Actually.
he is. Where'd you get like that? That's not officially licensed, is that?
No, this was one of those. I get suckered into. Sometimes fans submit like post this like we're selling this shirt
Like
at
Etsy
Shirt
and
Punch
stuff,
or
yeah.
something.
Mhm.
So it was like $9.99 and I bought it. Usually I don't buy it because
Yeah.
I only collect licensed stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it got you on a good day.
You need a couple everyday shirts too. You know?
Yeah, well, if
Some
you look at
unlicensed.
my, no, yeah. You don't want to look at my drawer. It's all Zelda shirts. All right, next story.
Cool. This one, Tony wanted me to add this one. There is quite a few outrages, I guess, this week. The first one coming from the Assassin's Creed trailer. PETA watched this and was kind of outraged that they were glorifying whaling. Mm-hmm. The second part of this was... yeah,
What exactly is whaling?
killing whales.
Hunting
Okay.
of whales.
Yeah.
Hunting, yes.
Save the whales.
Save the whales, save the world. Anyway, the second story of that would be one of the God of War trophies actually was called Bros Before Hoes, and it involved you killing off one of the... was it a villain, basically?
Okay, at the beginning of God of War, just spoilers real quick, it's just at the very beginning, there's like these three, I forgot what they called them, there's like these three female demon chicks that they basically send out to capture Kratos. That's how, at the very beginning.
They're like deities or something?
Something like that. And when he kills one, that's the trophy that pops, is Bros Before Hoes, because he kills the female, whatever. And then everybody flipped out about this.
Oh my god!
And I'm getting really like frustrated with this. I was on the verge of making this the topic of the week for this week. Because
Bros Before Hoes topic of the week.
No, it was
It was between both ways, so...
And it just seems like people that have no business and don't play video games that just are involving themselves in our world. And for video games to be taken seriously, they got to be given the same freedoms that every other form of media is given. Like same thing with like TV, and
Movies.
That's why there's a rating system. Within a movie, you can put anything you want in the movie as long as you rate it correctly, and that's what the ESRB's for. It's freedom of speech. You're supposed to be allowed to do whatever you want as long as there's some kind of warning, like, hey, if you're against animal cruelty, stay away from this game. But you could put whatever you want into it.
You can say
that's basic rights.
You can say fuck once in a PG-13 movie.
Okay,
True
I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
The same thing in God of War. This is a little known fact. God of War, the studio, Sony Santa Monica. Okay, they actually have the highest employment rate of women of any studio in the world. More women work at that studio than anywhere else.
And that
the
story
woman
will never come out, more than likely.
The woman who actually wrote God of War Ascension and wrote the trophy list, it's a girl, wrote it, and she was fine with it.
You know, to talk
That's
about
funny.
that for a second.
That's good. That's good.
It's like, what else do you want? Women work there; they were okay with it. A girl came up with it. It's not like this is some big like woman hating studio
and
that's like, let's put something in there to bash women.
I don't think anyone knows that who is bashing
It's none of their business. It's God of War is a product that they're putting out to sell to their fan base. The people that are upset about this probably don't even play God of War.
Going back a couple of years with Gears, people were bitching because you could kill the female characters in the multiplayer mode. The thing about it is that the actual script for Gears of War 2, 3, and so on are written by a female author. Mm-hmm. Like this big bromance, video game that's all about soldiers and grunts and body odor and whatnot is written by a woman who I believe some of her books are on the New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah, and this is not the first time Sony Santa Monica had to deal with this. They actually had, I can't remember off the top of my head, I should have looked this up beforehand, but they had to change the name of a God of War 3 trophy too. because people got upset, and
It's probably one of the sex ones. Interactive sex.
probably. And looking through like my achievement list or my trophy list, there are far more offensive.
Listen, if I have an achievement for looking up a girl's skirt,
That's what I'm
in
saying.
Lollipop Chainsaw,
I got one on Golden. I got one on Uncharted Golden Abyss called "Rub One Out." That's literally a trophy, and you're mad about bros.
every
hoes?
single Borderlands 1 achievement was something
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm.
Yeah.
There's far more offensive stuff that I can't believe. I think it's because God of War is such a high profile game that
Stupid.
sells so much more than.
I think people look at it as a very a manly game as well. That
Yeah.
there's not much feminine input in it, and which is actually false, as you just stated.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I don't like that the game developers are not like. Maybe they just think it's not worth like standing up for themselves. And
that's
they're
the
like,
problem too. They're like cowering in the corner, like, "Oh, sorry, we'll change it. Sorry."
Yeah.
So what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Show a little backbone. I don't know.
They're worried about somebody starting petition boycott this because
Hey,
this is bad press.
if any company is most sexist, it's Nintendo.
How do you figure?
Okay, because scaling back, all right, you always had to go save Zelda. You always had to go save Peach.
That's just the way stuff was
I'm
in the
just-
70s and 80s. The 80s action films. It was the time period.
I'm just saying. Okay, but well, then
much
again,
has changed, I
but see,
guess.
then again, they gave us Metroid, so I can't really. I just
come on.
countered my
Negated.
own point. I just
Negated.
countered my own point.
Zeroed
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
All right.
Animal cruelty. Donkey Kong was stuck in that fucking cage.
Why isn't Peter on their ass?
Peanut needs to be all over that.
And PETA's so nuts. It's
Goombas?
Like
I mean, they're killing people.
They're killing They're killing imaginary pixels on a television screen in a world set in the 1600s where that was standard practice.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going out on a limb like, "Oh, let's go shoot aliens in the 1600s." Like, and what the fuck is wrong with PETA? Assassin's Creed. Throughout the course of that series, you have literally killed thousands of human beings, but you kill one fucking whale
On
and
your
that-
ass like white rice.
Yeah, and it's like, what? No, slaughter, and Assassin's Creed has some gruesome kill scenes.
Yeah.
They're like just gutting people from ear to ear and stuff, and that's all fine. Screw people.
Yeah.
But one whale?
They can take
they
it.
No way.
They threw a fit years ago for Metal Gear Solid 3 when you could actually, you'd kill the snakes and eat them to survive, and because you could wear a fucking alligator head and shit. They threw a huge fit about that. And Japan's like, fuck you, man, we eat this shit.
Tony just Picarded.
It's so
What the fuck?
So dumb. You're not even like, I get that PETA, whatever, you want to fight for an actual living animal, but something just imaginary.
Listen,
Imaginary.
if they were killing whales in real life, they'd use them to print the discs. I could understand.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you have a-
Ivory discs.
Yeah, you have like a legitimate argument there.
Yeah.
Fine, save the whales. It's a bunch of pixels on a TV.
This is PETA, man. They're probably like against the sale of like animal crackers or something.
Yeah. Oh, it depicts biting lions' heads off.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
At my first job, there was I used to work at a concession stand in the Allstate Arena, and during the circus they planned to bomb the Allstate Arena to save the animals, but kill thousands.
Wait,
You're
gonna
gonna
bomb?
kill all the
you're gonna-
animals
Yep,
too.
there was an entire bomb scare.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
yep.
awesome.
They said it'd be better off blown
That's
up to
awesome.
smithereens than to be in the circus. That was their. Yeah, I don't know. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy will kill and eat anything that you can make into a steak. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Bear
It doesn't-
steak.
Yes.
Bear steaks are delicious, by the way. You
Yeah,
should
it
try
doesn't matter.
I can get you bear steaks. I know a guy.
them. Okay, yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
We're going back to
And
this.
gazelle? You want some
you know
gazelle
what?
steaks?
You know what? I'm saying it right now. I want some fucking whale steak.
Whale steak.
You make that
Tony,
happen.
get on that.
I'll
7
say-
days.
I'll
You
say
got
I
it.
Sent from
I'll
Japan.
eat one of PETA.
All right,
You're gonna eat
anywho.
it on a pita? Is that what you said?
Eat it on a pita.
On a PETA in front of PETA.
You mad, bro? Whale steak.
One hand whale steak, other middle finger. Ow.
Oh man.
I'm gonna find that. That's it. All right. Tonight when I get home, I'm gonna find the picture, the exact scene from whatever's going on with the whale, and I'm gonna Photoshop the angry Andy face on it. It's going up. It's going up.
All right, SimCity. Even though last week they said that to make their game single player, it would require significant reworking of their engine. Now it works for single player thanks to a modder from somewhere.
Big surprise.
It took them under like 3 days or
to break
something.
the DMR.
Yeah. So it has a significantly different interface. I don't know why, but yes, it does work in single player. And as far as I know, it's completely all right. There was a patch to fix it, but in the hacking world, it's probably already been unpatched, and you can still do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
really quick,
sure.
I've just got this from one of our affiliates. Target stores is buy 2 games, get 1 free until Saturday.
I don't have 3 games I even want.
I'm
Buy
just saying.
2 what?
Buy 2 games, get 1 free.
New games?
New games.
I'm gonna buy one and return it.
They got a picture Devil May Cry, Tomb Raider, and God of War.
Till Saturday.
Till Saturday.
So you can go in there and buy Tomb Raider and God of War and get
I think I'm
games
going
for
to
free.
go return both
Yeah.
of my games to work and go do that.
Wow.
And trade those in for Gears.
I
and
could buy
Bioshock.
2 copies of Gears and get a free copy of Gears.
And then sell them used.
No, I'm saying like, 'cause I got to pick up his copy.
I used because we gave out that buy 2 going a few weeks ago.
Wait,
I
can
bought
you
3
make my
games
numbers?
and just got I traded my free Far Cry 3 in for like $30 afterwards, even though I got it for free.
Nice.
I know.
Can you go buy like 6 copies of Gears, get 3 free, and sell them each for like $50?
Yep.
All right. So why don't you just multiply this by, instead of getting 6
Go
copies,
to every
get
Target within a 20-mile radius.
6,000 copies of Gears.
Make your own store
All right,
out of it.
next
Only sell
topic.
Gears. Anywho, this is going to be my rant of the day. Assassin's Creed 4 is reported to have 1,000 employees. This is freaking bullshit. There's not... Call of Duty doesn't even have 1,000 people work on it anymore. They are trying to pump this thing out so freaking fast that they need 1,000 people. It's very common for any game coming out probably 3 or 4 months in advance to hire another 100, 200 employees to bring it up to like a 500-600 workforce. They have 1,000 people and the game comes out in end of October, last week of October. This means this game is not even close to being a finished product, that they need to work their asses off until October just to get it that way. That means there's going to be a ton of bugs. It's probably going to be worse than Assassin's Creed 3 was, which for me was actually the most broken game I ever picked up in my hands day one I've ever played. There's no reason the yearly release cycle is just such bullshit. They're just gonna release crap after crap. When I saw the story, I lost all interest in Assassin's Creed 4 because I know
I
all
thought
they're
it was
doing.
the whaling.
Oh yeah, Peter member here. No. This is just crap. They don't need 1,000 people 8 months before. They were reportedly at like 800 a few months ago. So, I mean, they basically need 1,000 people for like 8 months to pump out a game because it's not even close to being right. That's the only reason they need this.
Mark's
much
just
people.
mad because they didn't accept his job application.
I don't want to work for that studio anymore.
The problem with these annualized franchises that I'm starting to see is that, okay, like Assassin's Creed 3 got a lot of backlash because of how broken it was. The problem is there's two major issues. First of all, when a game is coming out every year, it's not a long enough turnaround. God of War 4, Assassin's Creed 4 was already being made when Assassin's Creed 3 launched. So you're already halfway through a game.
Yeah.
So you don't have enough time where you hear all the backlash to actually correct anything as a company. And second, companies don't care. They're not reading forums. They're not checking into stuff. There's only one way to get your message across to these companies, and that's to speak with your wallet. And people keep buying these games, so they're just going to keep pumping out the exact same thing because they sold 7 million something,
7.5 almost.
Okay, of Assassin's Creed 3. To them, they're just like, holy crap! Put this exact same thing out, change a few little things, and we'll sell another 7.5 million.
Yeah.
Until you stop that cycle, and then they're like, well, we sold 7 million like this, and now we only sold 4 million. Clearly, we did something wrong. That's the only way to get your message across to these companies. They don't care. That's why they don't get it with. You got all these people that were like protesting buying like Call of Duty or whatever when they switch something over. They don't hear you. They don't hear the 10,000 people that refuse to buy the game because it's the same thing over and over and over again. All they're seeing is the 30 million copies they sell a year.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Has Assassin's Creed 3 surpassed the previous games with sales?
I think they always go up, don't they?
Has it been... Well, I know the Brotherhood and
Revelations dipped off a bit. 'Cause that
Yeah,
got
Revelations was not as high, but I think 3 was higher than. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But 3 I know did well.
It's getting to the point where there are people that are just core Assassins fans that they're just going to buy it every year.
Yeah, you're still going to have those people.
And that's all they care about.
Yeah.
But they still, like, I mean, me and Tony, you bought 3 too, right? Didn't you? I mean, they roped us in with that trailer, really. Even the trailer that came out with
The other one, too, I'm already like,
good.
God damn it, that pirate thing looks awesome.
Yeah, because I will.
And it's always
a
gonna
good pirate
suck.
game.
In this day and age, is there ever really a trailer you've seen that's like, okay, this game is god awful, I'm not buying it. Not buying
Yeah,
it.
all the time, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
I see a lot
I
that
think
don't like.
Yeah, there's a lot that first trailer, first gameplay.
What's that game
I
that
think-
you guys were
I
all
think-
excited about? That I was like, that trailer is stupid.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that's cyberpunk.
No, I
shit.
said that
Yeah.
was stupid.
I said it was stupid too.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
I
years
just-
away.
I'm not really interested in
more
Cyberpunk.
recently was Metal Gear. That trailer looked awful, and Andy said it's excellent. I'm going to go probably play it because Andy said it's good. The trailer did nothing for me at all. I was like, wow, this is going to be bad.
Yeah, but the
With that
trailer I
stupid
saw was the
sword.
only one that's been sponsored by Sony the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they just got that sword,
Yeah.
and he's just hitting. It's just like, this looks terrible.
Yeah.
But, I'm probably going to go back and play it now.
Yeah, well, the problem is now, I've been ranting about these annual releases for a while now, but they're becoming more common. Isn't like Hitman doing annual releases? now?
Yeah,
They
they're
had,
gonna start that.
they had 2 in 3 months.
Like EA isn't quite doing it, but they're almost doing it with their Call of Duty does their.
They do it with like they're starting to do it with Battlefield.
Battle of Honor, Battlefield,
Yeah.
Medal of Honor, Battlefield, which is
Well, Medal of Honor's done.
Yeah.
for good.
No, they'll reboot it.
They'll reboot it.
Yeah,
for
3
sure.
or 4 years.
Hey, maybe because Medal of Honor sucked so bad, maybe we'll get another bad company. That's my hope.
Well, whatever the case, it's like sort of like Call of Duty. They like hide it by.
He's over your shoulder, and I just hear.
Because I'm thinking, if they do another bad company, they need to do more of those like donut sprinkles.
Yes, no.
Oh yeah, they had some
shorts.
great promotions for
That
Bad
company was so good. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, screw annual releases.
Yeah, take that annual releases.
I love
except
how-
WWE and NHL.
I love how Grand Theft Auto Rockstar's been coming out lately saying how all right. So first off, it started off as Grand Theft Auto would it would suck if they did yearly releases, and then it was like 3 weeks ago. It was says Grand Theft Auto would suck if it came out every 18 months. And they're just making fun of anyone who comes in because Gears is on 18 months.
I don't like 18 months either. I think that's too quick. Gears is on it. God of War has been on. Well, not really, but like it seems they're too quick after. Like it was just holiday 2011. Gears came out, and now Gears 1 year later, it's like right on the verge of coming. Like 18 months is too short of time. I think. I understand if you have like a major handheld release. And then, like,
You need to rush something for it.
if you have like a major handheld release, and then 18 months later a console release, and then 18 months later another like something like that, that's okay. But
See, Assassin's Creed is. I feel like they're screwing it up again because they're doing the same thing this October that they did last year, where they had Liberation come out on the Vita, which is, I think, the second best Vita selling Vita game ever. They sold like 650,000 units,
Whoa.
which is insane on the Vita. And they just announced the second Vita Assassin's Creed game. So now this October, you're doing the exact same thing where you had Assassin's Creed 3 and Liberation come out. Now you're getting the new Vita one with Assassin's Creed 4, and it's like, why
those are
don't you?
completely different games too.
Why,
right?
yeah, why don't you spread this shit out more? It's like, even if you're a truly big Assassin's Creed fan, you're taking on 2 titles in the same. Call of Duty did this too with the Vita, where they. Huh?
We need to go faster a little bit.
Why are we?
It's already at 410.
Yeah. Well,
Say they run
point
a
being,
time
screw
crunch
Assassin's
today.
Creed, screw Call of Duty, fuck them.
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Hitman, Medal of Honor, any other things?
Nah, there's probably a bunch.
Madden,
So,
Tiger Woods.
I'll try and plow through the rest of the news so we can get going. The PS4 is NVIDIA is kind of butthurt this week, saying that the PS4 is not worth the cost. This is also because NVIDIA lost. Oh, they lost a lot this last year, basically, by losing both the consoles, and most games coming on PCs are now only supporting AMD right off the bat. And
Not to mention the few things that running on NVIDIA also failing, like we covered last week with Tomb Raider and stuff. So stuff's not even running well.
They are the better product maker, but they don't have the support because they're better, their prices are higher, and if you can go $50 cheaper for a little bit less, you'd rather do that.
Yeah.
Which is what I did with my built light PC, so there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, story from I think last week, maybe the week before that, Nintendo 3DS. That lawsuit's already over, actually, where they were potentially going to lose $300 million for that the
Patent infringement.
patent infringement with the 3DS with the 3D without glasses. They did lose it, but they only lost $30 million, which is a lot less than the $300 potential they were lost.
7%.
That's still, I'm sure
Yeah.
that guy.
I know, I play
guy's
video
happy.
games,
He
I don't
never
know
has
math.
He never has to work again.
Well,
That $30 million is going to take a big hit out of that $9 billion wallet they got.
Yeah, it's like,
I
all
heard-
right, write
I-
your check. Yeah, it's
I
fine.
heard somebody counted out. It's 3 weeks of 3DS sales.
Okay.
So in 3 weeks they'll recoup their.
They're.
They just don't make anything for 3 weeks.
He's like, hey, you're working for free. Yeah, no, so I just thought I'd just give you an update
That's
on
kind of
that.
big, actually.
We have Disney Infinity is delayed until August. Alongside this, Pokemon is also getting its own Skylanders ripoff. So
Have you guys seen these Pokemon?
I have. They're like an inch or two tall.
They look like they. This is based off like a Famitsu magazine scan of like low quality. They're like these little shits that are like
These little
the
shits.
size of.
like you get out of a quarter gumball machine. That's what
yeah.
they look like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Literally, maybe they'll sell them in those things.
Maybe.
You
Go
know.
to Taco Bell, pick up another Pokemon toy.
Yeah, like I thought their big announcement last January, the big Pokemon announcement, was going to be this because I thought this was like a huge thing. These elaborate toys, 600 of them.
Yeah, I mean, we spent quite a bit,
I
just
know.
like, oh, it would be
I'm
amazing.
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the game. I just want the toys. But the
Except now
toys
they
look
look
so
like crap.
awful.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't know if that's what all of them are going to look like, or if that was just that was the old
First
Yeah.
version.
whatever
maybe.
it is. If the toys look this shitty, then this is shitty.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, those
it's like
things-
that cash grab at this because
Yeah, but they're not doing it well. Like
No, they're
look,
not.
If Pokemon came out and put all their guns behind it and was really promoting this as the big splash that Pokemon's going to make into the console market, like it could do, I think, better than Skylanders just on name recognition alone.
Yeah, definitely. I
And
think
fan
so, too.
base. But now it's like, man.
Yeah, put something out there, make some quick bucks.
Again, those things. I mean, they're going to go for what, $1.99? They're saying,
Yeah.
about $2. I think they're so cheap because I mean it's different when you have Skylanders. How many are there? Are there like 50 or 100?
80.
It's like
We're talking
80, I think we were looking
Okay.
like 80 max right now.
Okay, if with Pokemon you're looking at over 600. So I mean, I don't know. At 600 of these things at $2, if you wanted to collect them all, it's $1,200.
$1,200, yeah.
That's a lot more than well, I guess it's not that much more.
No, $15 for
80,
the Giants,
15.
aren't they?
They're 10 or they're
Well,
$11.99.
the Giants are
12.
15, the minis I think are 10.
I mean, it adds up, but you spread it out. You don't have to release 600 of them. You release. The launch comes
First
out with
20,
50 of them.
first 50.
Make them a little more. I think $1.99 is too cheap. I'd be better off with a $3.99, a nice little small figurine. Okay, you don't have to get them all. The core might, but
You do have to catch them all.
You got to catch them all. That
Yeah,
is
I mean,
the motto.
Who we kidding here?
They tell
gotta
you
catch
you
'em
have
all.
to catch them all.
Yeah, that's kind of their
They
thing.
will come to your house.
you come out. Maybe they
Take
come
your
out,
life savings.
Come out quarterly in sets of 30 of them. You
Yeah.
know, and put them out for $3.99 a piece.
I don't know. I would rather them do the original 150 right off the bat.
Maybe something like that. That mix and match. That
Yeah.
would be cool.
No.
Yes.
I want the 150.
Yes.
In other news, they're re-releasing the Megazord as a toy.
Okay. Cool story.
Talking about toys.
All right. Anyway, we're going to my last sexy story of the week. Former GameStop VP gets 4 years in prison.
Nice.
Hooray.
Take that, GameStop.
For mail fraud.
For the embezzlement, right?
Yep.
And he was no, he took money. He threw it into a corporate
company?
bank account
Okay, good.
that was basically he had personal access to, and he skimmed a few $1 million
like $4 million
over the
or
course
something like that,
the course of 18 months from GameStop.
Yeah.
You know what I think they should do for people who are scammers and hackers? I think they need to have like open stadiums, like put it at Soldier Field in Chicago and do just public executions via hanging.
This is Rome,
Yeah, I think this
I would
would
probably pay to go to one
right?
just to see it.
Send the lions out.
It sounds like as long as they
PETA.
if he's keeping the money Enron style where they really can't track it again, that's a pretty good deal. 4 years in probably minimum security prison. He
Here's-
gets out and he's $4 million richer.
Yeah, I don't
Here's
know.
what I
$1
would
million
do.
a year in prison.
Realistically,
Does he get to keep all
I
the
would
money?
take.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying because I don't know if there's a way for them
Well,
to get it
screw
back.
it.
Because with
public
Enron,
execution.
Here's,
This is the
this
route.
is the way we're
This
going.
is the way of the future.
realistically,
By hanging.
here's what I would do. Okay, I would take every GameStop employee from the past 10 years.
What?
Okay,
That's
fly,
me.
fly them out to where this guy's at. Have him strapped up. Almost do it almost like a crucifix, but with his legs spread, and let everyone
Dungeon?
get one shot kicking him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, because
That'd
he
be good.
took money from me.
Yeah,
He did.
Okay,
maybe we go with
So-
the guillotine
No,
as
he
well.
didn't.
yeah, he did.
How do you figure?
He stole money from GameStop.
That was GameStop's income.
Yeah.
Well,
What
you know
does
what
that have to do with us?
We can do like a guillotine.
You get
That's
your
why, that's why I only got a nickel raise that one fucking
You
year.
get a shitty salary. That's your shitty salary.
I wasn't on
It has
salary.
nothing to do with.
I wasn't on salary.
I mean, I don't think we would have seen that money,
Then when
but
it came to you, would have stayed up with the execs.
That's still
That's
not
just
the point.
wishful thinking.
You
bro.
don't, why don't you want to kick somebody in the nuts?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Why
I
are
thought
you
him
defending
and
him?
his tea bags.
I
Why
look
are
at
you
the-
defending him? You scamming money off of
I'm
GameStop?
just-
Hey,
no, I'm
let's
just-
look
I'm-
at your bank accounts.
I'm all about the opportunist in the situation. You know, I'm looking at what he did, and I'm kind of like,
How do I
maybe
do
it
it?
wasn't too bad.
That's what I'm saying. Give him 4 years.
Kill
and,
him.
You know, let Andy make some fucking steaks out of him.
Human meat.
I'll try it.
Peter won't care.
Zombie. Well, if they send lions against him, they'll say it's cruel.
Yeah, maybe put him in a cage with lions. I like that.
All right, Dave Letterman, the shit.
All right. Here's the part where I gotta take the headphones and just move them slightly because we're going to our social media.
Jamel.
Look at over there. Well, sorry
email.
for your speakers, potentially.
Google email.
We're trying to get Jason when he still has the headphones on, so he can't hear anymore.
Andrew Dillon.
Electronic mail
up,
provided
Andrew,
through Google.
Mr.
What's up, Andrew?
Dillon. He asked, was there ever a point in a story where you actually felt bad for the character in it? What game and why?
Oh, definitely Spec Ops.
Good one.
The part in Heavy Rain where he had to cut off his finger.
Ooh, yeah, they're or the the bad endings of that game. The bad endings of
That
Heavy
whole
Rain.
game, actually.
Oh, it's depressing.
The opening scene in the mall where his other kid
There's
dies
one.
when looking for the balloon thing.
Yeah.
That was depressing as hell. I felt so bad for the kid.
For me, and here comes some spoilers for a current game, would have to be the final moments of Walking Dead. Where I mean, with a game that's designed to just beat the shit out of you the entire time with your moral choices and what happens to the people that you grow close to have it turn around and flip on you like the way that the game does, it was actually pretty emotional for me, and I felt
gonna agree with that.
horrible for Everett, for Lee. It was horrible the way that you have this character and you invest. Granted, they were like 2 hours apiece, so you're looking at about a 10-hour game. But the way that they developed the character and the world and his interactions with the little girl, and then at the end to have him sitting there dying and trying to tell her what she has to do to make sure that she gets out alive was really, really like that struck a chord for me.
I'm a zombie in my game.
Yeah.
Okay, she didn't kill me.
No.
No. I was like, no, just leave me. It's fine. No, just go.
Well, here's the other thing, and this kind of ties into what they were talking about for season 2. If you look, did you do it? Did you have her shoot you?
Yeah, there was no other way to end the game.
Yeah, there was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive.
Yeah, you can have her just leave.
Just go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but if you look, right as she pulls the trigger, she bucks the gun to the side. So I don't know if it actually hit or not. But yeah, for me, current games would have to be that.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up too, but I'll say something different. More recently, actually, within the last couple of weeks, would it be with Lara Croft? I've never seen that much go wrong to any video game character in my life, and I've played a lot of video games.
She just gets the shit beat out of her from what I've heard.
And another one in recent memory is Saw 1, the video game. I know everybody gives me shit.
was gonna say-
bad. I enjoyed that game.
I was going to say, if you say fucking Dom...
I actually,
My Minecraft character?
I didn't feel too bad for him throughout the course of the game, but I don't want to spoil it, but there's this part which is basically the final choice, which is how the game kind of concludes. It was quite messed up. So I felt pretty bad.
Didn't expect that in a Saw game.
So when
Choices.
that happened,
Yes.
so when that happened, it was kind of cool. It was pretty messed up. Yeah. No, we're gonna.
You got one, sir?
Heavy Rain.
Yeah,
When the
yeah,
kid
yeah,
dies in the
yeah,
mall.
yeah.
Yeah, take that, Jason.
I'm
Pay
basically
attention.
agreeing with all of yours. Heavy Rain was a really good one. Walking Dead was another really good one as well. Spec Ops, I definitely felt bad for him.
that was another one.
That was, I guess, my choice if I'm going to be unique. Always agreeing for the most part.
Sweet. Brendan Joyce.
What's up, B?
Sup, B?
you doing,
Sup,
B?
yo? He asked, what is the best free game you've ever played?
World of Tanks. Done. Next topic.
Are we talking about when a game transitions to free-to-play?
His is picked. Yeah, that works. That works.
Free game for you.
I have no idea. I need a minute to think about it.
I mean, I got other good ones. I mean, I liked Guild Wars until I ran into
Screw you, NCSoft!
stupid level where I had to grind, and I hate grinding.
I'm in a bad spot because
like
I don't know. I don't
freemium?
know what counts because I mean I got like
PlayStation Plus games that give away for free.
yeah.
Those aren't free.
No,
Those aren't,
I
like,
would say
free-to-play
a game
games.
that was made free-to-play.
Yeah, that was made and released like that.
Probably Tribes Ascend then
Yeah, it's a good one.
would be my
Can't
favorite.
think of something off.
Tribes is a very good one too.
Well, I mean, like, those...
Actually, Dust 514. Excuse me. I like that better
Okay.
than Tribes. Now that I think about it.
Cool.
What about, like, the fan-made Zelda games?
Yeah,
and stuff? I mean,
fan-made independent stuff.
Yeah,
Is
that counts.
Yeah,
That counts.
I have no answer for this one.
well,
Yes.
Twice.
Yes.
Free,
Frank Sinatra.
free cell.
Free sale.
42.
You know that's not on Windows 7 or Windows Vista. Or, no.
Minesweeper. I like the Minesweeper.
yes. What was that, the fucking...
Yeah, Minesweeper.
The little
Free to play.
guy where he'd be snowboarding or skiing, and the abominable snowman would come out and eat it. I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up.
I don't either.
Free
All
cell.
right, that's
Minesweeper.
our questions for the week.
Google.
Just Yahoo. Hotmail.
Hotmail's gone.
SBCglobal.net.
AOL.
SVC.
AOL email.
Mark got his wish. Hotmail is gone.
Yeah, thank God.
Good.
My Hotmail account still works.
It's transitioning
So what
over
does
to Outlook.
what does Microsoft make you sign up for now? Just the
They
Windows
just switch
Live
it over
account?
to Outlook.
It's funny because every time I log into it, because I log in every once
They
in a
don't
while.
make you do anything anymore.
No.
They let me sign in with my Gmail on Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's fine now.
You had to connect it to your Windows account.
You
though.
used to have to.
Now
They
you
used
don't.
to. They used to make you do
now they don't?
proprietary, where you had to use something.
That's
Microsoft.
the reason I ever got
They
a
don't care
Hotmail
anymore.
account. It's funny because every
As
time you
of
log
6
into
months ago,
Hotmail
they
now,
did.
it says, "Hey, would you like to try Outlet
Take a look.
or Outlook?"
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you transition yet.
It doesn't. I've done it. There's nothing different.
It
It's
just
a
says,
different logo.
"Yeah, I still have the Hotmail logo. I don't know if I'll ever. Maybe I'll do it for 5 more years and I'll feel cool. I don't know."
All right, so tournament. It's going to be pretty quick here.
Tourney.
This one's going to be all on Tony here. We got the hero bracket.
Okay.
Last week was Ezio versus Mega Man with Mega Man advancing. This week we've got Kratos from God of War against Sub-Zero.
Okay.
Oh man, Tony, convince me to vote for whoever you want me to vote for.
We'll just see where we stand. I'm gonna go with Sub-Zero. I'm gonna get outvoted on this one, so I don't care. There's no point. There's no point wasting time. I'm gonna get outvoted.
It's Sub-Zero, like doesn't he like he doesn't even win the Mortal Kombat tournament. Kratos beat Zeus.
You know, for sake of being an asshole,
Damn it, I was gonna do that.
I'm going with Sub-Zero.
I was gonna do that, and he took my thing. All right.
Anybody that Kratos needs to die because he beat Link. Okay, Sub-Zero beat Batman, so I don't like either of these assholes. So
This should have been Link versus Batman, but instead we have Kratos versus Sub-Zero.
yes, realistically,
Tony's looking. Tony's a little smile. Right
I'm
there.
going with fucking Sub-Zero.
Are you going Kratos?
Yes.
All right, Sub-Zero it is.
No, wait, no.
oh.
For the sake of putting Angry Andy in the spotlight,
So who is it, sir?
We know who
I'm
he's
going with
gonna vote
Kratos. He's trying to throw a pillow at me. I vote Kratos just to have Angry Andy be the decider here.
Kratos versus Sub-Zero.
Kratos.
for. Yes. All right. At least some. Okay, good. As much as I hate that he beat Link, that should have been like the championship game.
That really should have been.
That's like those
Yeah, it was
are
a-
two of my favorite.
What, round
heroes.
one? I think it was round one.
Yeah.
Unfortunate
Nice job setting up
pairing.
a bracket randomly.
Yeah.
Random.
Apple product.
Hey, this is what you wanted, okay?
You're gonna have
God
Leon
damn
in
it.
the finals because of the way you did it.
Yeah,
Is it Diddy Kong in the finals? Or?
All right, who's
Diddy,
next?
no, Diddy got out in like
We've got the
semifinals.
Lich King from World of Warcraft
Oh yeah.
against the Locust Army.
I gotta go with Lich King on this one.
I'm withholding a vote since I'm not too familiar with
The reason I'm
He's-
doing that is
I did.
The Lich King. He's like the Ganon of World of Warcraft.
he generally
Well, he's
fights.
gonna lose to Ganon in the next round.
Yeah, he is.
He generally fights, 25
Ganon
people
versus Darth
at once.
Yeah.
Because in his raid,
Are you
supposed
familiar
to be
with
doing that.
Lord of the Rings?
I've heard of it.
Really? I've heard of it.
I've heard of the books.
Heard there was a movie
and the
that came
Lego
out,
games.
Okay, well there goes that comparison.
Yeah, no, that is a good comparison. They
Yeah.
even look similar.
Yeah, he's Sauron.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, I'm going with Lich King.
I'm going Lich King
Okay. I don't know how the fuck that drone made it this far.
Yeah, I know, right?
because he beat Scarecrow.
He beats Scarecrow. Yeah, he
Alright.
did have it really easy.
And that would be the tournament for the week.
Rock on. That will bring us to Tony's topic of the week. Everybody's jamming.
He
this week.
didn't get to listen to the whole. Did you listen to the whole cast?
No.
No. Okay.
What did you do at the end?
You have a song too.
Nice.
Oh,
What is it?
It's like some ragtime piano music. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's awesome.
I always wanted to create a song and just have that be the intro, where it's playing and I go Tony's topic of the week, and that's it.
We can do that.
Like we hit
can-
play on our phone over the microphone.
We can do
just-
that.
yeah.
We can do that. You you just had to have some time to come over.
All right, so last week I touched on this briefly, and I thought it'd make for an excellent discussion, and that is the fact that nowadays there's just too much media. There's too much to consume.
yeah, there's not enough people listening to Forward Compatible. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's too much
There's
media.
too much media.
Too many games is what really
Too much.
It.
Yeah, the games is obviously the central focus of it, so I don't know if we got some initial thoughts or if you guys even know what I'm trying to talk about, because I could...
Back in the day, I had when I was still a kid with the NES and SNES, but with the Nintendo 64, when you think of the best games on the Nintendo 64, you think of I don't know, 10 of them.
Yeah.
If that, you got Zelda, Mario, Conquer,
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Yeah. And almost anybody who has a Nintendo 64 probably got almost
Those.
all of those games and beat the shit out of every single one of them. And yeah, nobody really missed out on, if you had a Nintendo 64, nobody missed out on large segments of the console's library.
Yeah.
Nowadays, just look at this last month of gaming. It's if you're a core gamer and you got both the 360 and the PS3, it's yeah, I got Metal Gear Rising, I got Tomb Raider, I got Gears of War, I'm gonna get God of War,
We got Bioshock.
Bioshock is coming out, Lego City. I mean,
5 years ago, that would have been your entire holiday lineup.
that would have been
For release, yeah.
6 games right there. Is
That's your year.
a third of the entire worth playing Nintendo 64 library.
Yeah.
And this is all in a span of 5 weeks. It's crazy. And not only the hardcore of the core are going to play through all of those games I just listed. And this doesn't even count the games that are going to come out in a few weeks. In a few, Resident Evil Revelations is coming out. Last of Us is coming out soon. I mean, there's so much stuff coming out in a short period of time.
For me, it stems even further, because this is the first time in human history where there literally is too much to consume. If you go back even a couple hundred years, okay, before TV and video games and all that stuff, even if you were in a big city, maybe you had one theater that had movies playing, or a play, and it would sit there for a couple months, and that would be your one form of live entertainment. And next to that, you'd have maybe one library with a finite amount of books, because back then there wasn't mass production and mass printing of stuff. So you'd have the 200 or 300 books that were in your library, and that was all that you had access to. So throughout the course of one man's life, you could literally watch or read every single book. What the fuck are you guys doing?
Continue.
Fucking Christ. There's
Throwing coffee cups.
there's there's 200 books or so in your library, and if you set your mind to it throughout the course of your life, if you were even literate at that time, you could read every single book that was available to you in your town, and maybe have a play or something. That's all you had. Then as stuff progressed, even back in the 60s and stuff, you had access to 4 or 5 TV stations.
3, and then you were basically locked into whatever was on those.
So as times progressed, and then you move into the modern era with the internet, and I want to get off all the other stuff and focus mainly on video games here in a second, but as we're getting closer and closer, this is the first time in human history, if you were filthy rich, didn't have to work, and somehow didn't have to sleep or eat, and could dedicate 24 straight hours a day to consuming good media, not even all media, just the stuff that is worth your time, you couldn't physically do it.
So like, is Duck Dynasty included in
Of
that?
course.
That was free on Xbox.
Yeah. So I mean, you quite literally can't do it if you like between books and comics and movies and television and video games. There's just too much, and it's the first time ever. You could sit there and kill 10 hours on YouTube just screwing around.
Yeah.
And in terms of games, like 3-4 years ago when it was at its peak, people would consume 12, 14, 16-hour days of just like World of Warcraft.
Yep.
And that was the only game they play. And they'd play like 800 hours a year, like some obnoxious amount, like 3-4 hours a day. And like that alone, like people tell me like last year, was it 2011 holiday when Skyrim came out. I didn't play Skyrim. I don't know if you guys have played Skyrim.
Yeah,
I played a little bit of it.
Because like I hear all the stories of people get like addicted to it a little bit, and they put 150 hours into it.
I heard
don't
plenty of
have
stories like that.
I value my time too much to put 150 hours into.
I can't spend that much time walking around in the fucking woods.
No, I agree with that too, because I see these people like even before it became cool to hate on Call of Duty when I used to play it a few years ago. I never understood the people who would just sit there and prestige and go through the ranks. It's like, dude, you there's so many other games.
Yeah.
How can you sit there and dedicate hundreds of hours to this one game? You're missing out on so many excellent experiences just by trying to get really masterful at this one game.
It's kind of like getting married.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, rock on.
That was an awful.
It was.
Oh, I completely understand what you mean. Because, like, there's times... I'm not... we're ignoring that. We're nulling that from the record.
Yes.
There are certain games that I love to put more time into, but I feel like I'd be neglecting my time by not going out and playing the newer game that came out the week after it. And that means I'll go back to that first game, a month down the road because I don't want to miss anything because there is so much.
Well, see, on the flip side, though, for someone like myself, because I'm so focused on what I choose to play, that I'm missing experiences, like you said, like Darksiders. Didn't get to experience that. Saw some of it. I was like, Tomb Raider. For as much fun as I've had, just pushing your buttons with it, I'm missing the experience of it because I just there's too much stuff, and I'm just like, oh well, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. To hell with that, and you just kind of push it off to the side.
It's almost what I feel is that's the problem why I'm unable to get more systems. It's what's holding me back from, I guess, why I didn't grab the Wii U immediately and why I don't play my PC. It just kind of collects dust. It's like I feel you kind of got to pick your horses and run with them. And unfortunately for me, it's the most time consuming is my PS3 and my Xbox, just because those are the ones that I'm the most invested in. You just kind of want to. I don't know. It's something in my head that's just the way I go. Where I have all these other consoles that just sit there and collect dust. I built this really nice PC, and it's just like there's just not enough time. I don't know what it is, man.
One thing that plays. Not only is there a quantity thing, but there's also the duration of each particular game you play now. Like you talked about, like Call of Duty, and has like people put 200-300 hours into it a year. But even like a game like I don't know, like Assassin's Creed 3, we were talking about. How long is that single-player playthrough?
You're probably like 15. If you explore everything, you might be able to get like 20 to 30 or something.
If you go back in time to like the original NES era or even the Super Nintendo era, look at a game like Super Mario Brothers 3, which is a pretty big game for that time. You could 100% that game playing it blindly for the very first time in like 5, 6, 7 hours, if you really wanted to.
You get to the 8th world in 6 minutes.
Well, assuming you don't.
You don't warp or anything. Yeah.
Like World 1, even if you play for the very first time, you can beat that world in half an hour. Mm-hmm. If you're playing blindly through it. So like that was a massive game for the NES, and it was only a few hours. Like the reason people played it so much is they just played the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. But like games, like I remember when Skyward Sword was coming out for the Wii for Zelda, they were saying like, oh, it's got 40 hours just through the main quest, and then 100 hours if you do all the side stuff. And it's like that's nice. Wow, there's so much to do. But on the second hand, it's like, do you really want to play a single player game, the same game for 100 hours?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's why I fall out of RPGs so often. I start a lot of them, like the Fallouts and even Skyrim
I'm
and
not
stuff.
even close to being done with.
I start them. I play for an hour. Not an hour. Excuse me, like 10 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it, and I move on because there's something else coming out constantly.
Yeah.
And like, to me, on a personal level, I know you guys don't have it yet. I'm assuming you guys at one point will when it gets even better. But like, just with PlayStation Plus, it is so overwhelming. I've had it, this is my second year. I've had it for about 14 months now because I signed up in January a year and a half or whatever, 14 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can spend that $50 and live off PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could. Yeah.
I don't think you need to buy a game. They give you so much.
Probably wouldn't even be able to get through it.
I haven't touched 90% of what they gave me for free. It is too much.
One reason that I don't buy PlayStation Plus is because I'm never going to play
It's overwhelming.
90% of that stuff that they put out there. I'm not.
I think-
I'm just going to eat up hard drive space. And
well, you don't have to because it just links up to your account. But yeah.
I'm never going to touch it. Never. So for me, it's a waste of $50 for something that I'm never going to
But
touch.
the thing is, the 10% that you do play is probably worth the $50 alone.
You're getting every month 2 full retail games and a bunch of PSN games. Every month they're giving you $120 worth of games every month. They're yours for the life of your PlayStation Plus account. I swear to God, you can buy a PS3, a Vita, and PlayStation Plus, and you're fine. They give you so much free stuff. You don't need to buy a game. You as a normal gamer who dedicates 10, 15 hours a week to playing video games, you would have enough content coming in every month where you wouldn't have to spend $1 on a game. It's that much stuff. And you probably still wouldn't play it all.
Yeah.
And this is what I was trying to get at last. It's just like, and you hear all these great things that you miss out on, and it's just like, dude, there's just too much. I play a shitload of video games, and I play through so many of them constantly just to try to be as well-rounded as possible and experience as much as possible to let you guys know what's good, what sucks, to be part of. Half it's being part of the discussion. Like, I can't wait for some of you to finish Tomb Raider so I could talk about what happened. It's the same thing because I was the first one to finish Walking Dead, and I had nobody to talk about it with because I was waiting on you guys.
Because I'm playing other stuff, trying to.
I know, and it's
everything.
It's just like, dude, I want you. You want to be part of the discussion. You want to know what's going on. You don't want anybody to spoil anything on the internet. So you almost feel obligated to tear through some of the new big experiences within the first week, just so something bad doesn't happen. I felt rushed to get through Halo 4 because I remember spoilers for the ending where whatever happened. I don't want to tell anybody in case
I'm
they
not
didn't
even
play
done
it.
with it because I still too many games to get through too.
I was too scared. I was
Jim
too
spoiled that shit for me. I sat down like, what's it? Oh, fuck.
I mean, there's. I didn't want anybody to. I didn't want to accidentally be on some forum or
and
on
see
the
it.
IGN comments section or something, and just have somebody ruin it for me.
You mean Zelda Dungeon?
And then, Zelda Dungeon talking about Halo 4, obviously. And I don't want to have anybody just ruin the game for me. So I felt like I got to get through this just so I know what happened and I experienced it on my own. And then you got to move on to the next thing. It's nuts, man. Oh, sorry.
Going off that, I literally, there's so many games that just take such priority in your life that I used to be a completionist for everything. Like, I would put 40 hours into Assassin's Creed. I put 40 hours into Saints Row just to mess around a little bit and also, just collect everything, do everything like that. There's certain times where I get a game where it's one of those games where you can spend 40 hours just getting all the collectibles and stuff. Like Brutal Legends, a perfect example. I never explored that world because it came out and there was 2 or 3 other things I really wanted to play before that. I said screw it, and I went right through the main story like right away, and I plowed through it in like 9 hours or something.
I love that game.
Yeah, it's a really funny game. But literally, I lost a lot of experience that somebody else got just because there was so much else out that I'm not truly experiencing the game because of that, because of all the other stuff out.
I think that's another thing that kind of besides the opening couple of hours of Skyward Sword that kind of actually turned me off from the game is because they were promoting it as such a huge game. I was like, there's I don't have time. I don't have the ability to do this, and if I can't do it, I don't want to half-ass it. I'm just not going to do it at all.
If you have a 40-hour game, 30-hour game, cut the bullshit cut the sucky parts of it, make it a 12-hour game, and make that the best 12 of the 40 hours, and that's your game.
Yeah.
You know, there's I know there's some people that are gonna be like, oh, this game was short, it was only 12 hours. I mean, you don't want to have a game under I think Metal Gear Rising was only 5 hours.
Yeah,
that's probably a little too short.
Your average Call of Duty is about 5 hours.
I think that's
I'd
sweet.
say 8 should be like a minimum.
The sweet spot should be 10 to 20 hours for every game.
I'd be
agree.
okay with that.
10
think
to
so.
20, I think, is a really good range for it too.
And I think for games like Zelda, I think maybe Elder Scrolls did this right, where if the main quest is 8 hours and then there's 90 hours of optional stuff,
Fine.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, and
That in regards, I'd be okay with that.
yeah, because people like I would still get everything in Zelda,
Yeah.
but nobody else would.
But it would be for me with something like that. Once I was completed with the main story, then you have your leisure to go back to it and take your time. For instance, I beat Arkham City within the first 3 days of it coming out. I powered through that. I still haven't completed everything.
Right.
I'll get bored and throw it in for 20 minutes and play it.
Find some Riddler
here and there.
trophies.
Yeah, exactly. Find some Riddler trophies. Find, oh, look at this Easter
I
egg.
gave up on those. Some of those are just too hard for me. And I was just like, no. Especially in Arkham City.
They made them really hard. The first
Arkham
one, I
City
got
was
every
bad.
single one in
Arkham City
Arkham
was
Asylum.
bad.
Yeah.
And Arkham City is just dude, these are fucking
Hit
messed
these
up.
3 platforms that are spaced apart without touching the ground. Those things piss me off.
But I mean, that's the whole point. The actual
yeah.
campaign of that, it was probably about 15 hours. But look at the life that you're able to get out of it. You can then revisit it in your downtime, when you don't have something coming out that you want. They did it right there. Yeah. A lot of games, they don't. They try to pile on too much. And then Mass Effect is a perfect example. I just did not have the time to invest into that game.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was stuck on a fucking planet for 2 hours. I'm like, I'm done with this. I've got to play something else.
It's another thing with tactile multiplayer that I feel like because like what Mark was saying too. I feel when I was younger, I used to be more of a completionist. Like Mark said, I used to 100% stuff. I used to play stuff over and over and over again because, like Mas said, there was only 6-7 titles a year worth playing. You know what I mean? Now there's 3 or 4 every month. It's ridiculous. But then you got stuff like with Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was probably a 12 to 15 hour game. I clocked in at 23 and a half hours, but I explored a lot and I went slowly and I did a lot of stealth kills and but I enjoyed every second of it. I did it to myself. You could probably run through that game in 11, 12 hours.
Yeah.
But then you look at stuff that before I'd be like, hell yeah, let me try to complete this game to the fullest. And you look at some of the achievement lists and stuff, and it's one of the achievements is a 15 gamer score for hitting level 60 in that awful multiplayer.
Oh, it's
like this is never gonna happen. You just so it turns you off.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Even further from wanting to do
seriously 3.0.
That's the kind of stuff. It's dude, you're just getting.
You're getting that is
That's from Gears
the
of-
most time-consuming achievement, I think.
That
Every
one's-
medal, every Onyx, 100%.
Gears of War is funny because they even make fun of it through the name.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
like,
they do.
seriously?
They know that under
they know that they do it, but other
they
people
know
do
what
just to
half
be
a percent of
dicks.
anyone who ever plays that game will get it.
Like who does multiplayer well is Naughty Dog with their trophy system because what they do is they're like try co-op, ping trophy,
Yeah.
try multiplayer, ping trophy, and everything else is story based.
Yeah.
The way achievements should be. They shouldn't have anything to do with multiplayer. Even Call of Duty does it really well. Nothing is multiplayer based.
Yeah, usually.
because it's not supposed to be.
This Gears,
If somebody's not online, that's not fair that you're locking them out of the trophy system.
This Gears 3 the Gears Judgment's coming out has 3 achievements tied to max level and re-upping. There's one for re-upping after re-upping, and I think
those
there's
are
a
garbage.
third one
Those
for
are
re-upping
garbage
after
trophies.
re-upping after re-upping.
Yeah, those are garbage trophies. Those shouldn't be part of.
And they're like 50 apiece or something
Yeah,
like
that should not be part of the experience.
I think the first one's 30
It's like
and the rest are 50.
I'm pretty close to Gears 3. I got 1,400, I think, 1,400 gaming score out of
I
whatever
think
the hell
about
it
like
is.
1,000 or something.
The remaining ones, there's 3 or 4 easily gettable ones that I can go back and scoop, and the rest of them, it's just dude, this is never going to happen. And I poured a lot of time into Gears 3. It's just they're too ridiculous, and it's just you're taking away from somebody who actually may want to be a completionist.
Yeah,
you're just
But then
you're alienating.
We also have people who I have people who haven't even beat the Gears 3. I've talked to them at the store. They don't play the campaign. They like the multiplayer, and that's their side of it is that the single player ones take away from their gamer score because all they do is multiplayer.
There's other games I played through Silent Hill Homecoming, That game has 5 different endings, and the game, it's a short game. Silent Hill, the short games, they're never like, if you know what you're doing, you go through it quickly. It's like a 5-hour game, but there's 5 different endings, and you get a different achievement pending which ending you get.
So you have to play it 5 different times.
To
And
get
look up a
100%.
guide and hopefully get them each time.
I cheated with that in Transformers because there's 2 different endings. There's obviously the Autobots and the Decepticons. We just loaded the last save.
Yeah, you can do it a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's how it was in Heavy
Some
Rain
cases
too.
it's like early on, like
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
thing
What's your
that
choice
one
that you
decision
make,
is a decisive.
That's
one.
what I liked about Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain, they had it where you had to go back if you wanted their 27 or 32 different endings, whatever it was. If you go back to like this part of the story, it'll change it, and then you have to do decisions. I liked how they did their system.
Yeah.
It was basically the last hour of the game changed the endings, I think is what it was.
So I think achievements in general, trophies, achievements, scores, have prolonged games and have caused people to sit there and play that single game as opposed to expanding and playing.
Missing out on more stuff.
Yeah.
I also feel big thing is, like, I know I kind of touched on it earlier, but I didn't really, because I kept venting and I didn't really hear from you guys, is like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel like it makes you pick your device more or less, where it's just kind of like, like if you just take Xbox, there's just so much to play. You don't even, you're missing out on the great Nintendo exclusives. You're missing out on the great PlayStation exclusives. But it's like, go ahead.
A prime example is I am a PlayStation 3 owner. My system has not been turned on, with exception of watching Blu-rays, in 6 months. Okay, it's not that I'm anti-Sony or a Microsoft fanboy. My preferred platform is Xbox because, like you said, I've invested so much time into it and everything. And then it's kind of like this vicious circle where, like, okay, since I've invested so much time on my Xbox, then let's say
of jumping ship.
Let's say I want to buy a movie. I'm not going to buy it on my PlayStation. I'm going to buy it on my Xbox because all my other stuff's on there. Things like that. So I'm missing out on the Uncharted's and everything. The last game that I played for PlayStation was Twisted Metal and Walking Dead. That's where I started my Walking Dead because that's, Season Pass was out for that first. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, prime example. I feel like I'm more forced to now because I've invested so much in the Xbox that I have to stay with the Xbox.
It's hard to like just start at zero then. I'm lucky because I grew with both of them because these are the first true like ecosystems that have ever been out on video game systems. Back before these last generation, there was
man. Moss was showing me his network adapters on his GameCube.
Oh yeah, 8-player Mario Kart Double Dash.
We got to make it happen. We got to make that happen. I want in on that.
But before these, it was really easy to just jump ship because as soon as the N64, as soon as you were done with it, you had your 10 games. It was really easy to jump to PS1 or whatever. It was no big deal. There was no friends list and achievement systems and infrastructures where you bought all these movies and DLC and online games. There was nothing tying you.
It was more like, which one's going to play my CD?
Yeah, there was nothing tying you to the old ecosystem. Where nowadays, I got lucky personally because I grew with PS3 and Xbox, and I have very established things where I'm almost forced. My hands forced next gen to go with both again. Where it's just I'm so involved in both, I couldn't leave either.
It's when we're looking at, and I know we're trying to stay focused on video games, but when we're looking at media as a whole, it's one of the major components why I'm still with Apple. Is because I have my entire iTunes, I've got my movies and everything.
iTunes works on Windows.
Yeah, but you're branded almost as an Apple guy because you have their phone, you have their tablet, you have the Mac. You probably have their toaster.
No, not yet. But
That's still coming in from China.
But I understand. It's available on Windows. That's not. I'm talking about, like he was talking about, the infrastructure of everything being able to connect and work with each other. I can't go out and buy an Android and access my iTunes library.
Yes, you can.
Well, I'm speaking in general terms. Yeah. Okay.
You can't. The Apple Store.
Yeah.
It's not on.
The Apple Store would be on there, but.
You got the Play Store.
There's ways around it.
Okay,
Android
but we're speaking in general terms. If I wanted to, I could pirate every single video game.
Yeah.
I could pirate every single movie and just play them on my computer.
It's not even pirating. They just let you get in.
Just let you do it.
Yeah.
You're missing.
Open
We're
source.
getting.
I got the point.
Thank you.
No, I got the point too. It just you can.
I got the point too. I'm just saying it's not true.
Yeah, it's not true. It's just learn something.
How's that
else.
battery holding up? Because mine's great.
Have you seen the S4 battery?
It's beautiful.
That thing's
Okay.
massive, dude.
But,
See what I started?
yeah.
I was just trying to make, like, I'm trying to agree with and talk about media in general, and all of a sudden I'm getting bashed because
Right,
we're Apple.
but-
But what are we recording on?
But what Tony was
Barely
asking
recording
was
on.
like, does this limit you or make your decision for you? Is that basically what you're
Yes,
getting at?
it does.
More or less, and also like it's just like this is why I'm disappointed with what Nintendo did, because I feel that they missed a golden opportunity to start theirs. Like,
Don't you think? Wouldn't you say they have theirs already? I know it depends what you mean by ecosystem, because like I think it's sort of like what Apple has done is what Nintendo has done in a way, to extent like where you're almost self-branded, where you are going to get. Jason knows he's going to get the next Apple, the next iPhone or whatever, regardless of whether it's good or bad or what it does. He's going to get it.
Yep.
And I think that's the same thing with the core
I'll tell you,
25 million
yeah,
Nintendo.
it's going to have a
people.
faster processor. I'm buying it.
Yeah. So Nintendo, it's going to have a faster processor.
in that
You're
way,
right, yeah.
in that way, I agree with like just the blind fanboyism of people just running in no matter what.
Apple
just
fanboy.
Yeah,
That's fine.
No, that I agree with. No, every company has those. The people that just no matter what, it doesn't matter if it's technologically inferior to its competition. It doesn't matter if it's better or worse or pros or cons. It's just like, well, this thing says Nintendo, I'm buying it. There's a lot of those, and every company has them. That's a little different. I meant the actual. I mean, they're still on that. Like, I know the Wii U upgraded a little bit, as did the 3DS, but there's still those just like atrocious friend system. There's no achievement system. There's no Nintendo branded way to buy media like movies or television episodes through your actual Nintendo. Something linking you with your account. To me, it just seems like they're miles behind
So
on that
you're
kind of
referring
stuff.
to the thing as your
Like
network ID
network.
almost. Your
Yeah.
ID.
This one thing that like I got
Your account.
Like I think the best one in the world is Google at it. Better than Sony, better than Microsoft, better than Apple, better than all of them. There's
Everything's your Google
You're
account.
linked with your Google account, and you can do anything and everything with it, and it knows who you are, and you're set. You're
Yeah.
done. It doesn't limit you of stuff like Apple's is really good too, but only in
Well,
the
Google-
world of
Google has
Apple.
this advantage
Google
because
works
they're-
with everything.
Google's they don't have like set hardware. That's the thing. So
Yeah, they do. Now they do.
Google works on so many different devices that are not Google.
Well, no, they have Google.
Anyway, that's besides the point. But going back to what you were saying about Nintendo doesn't quite have that infrastructure. But going back to the whole thing of does too much media basically dictate what you buy?
Yeah.
I think that's what you were saying, and you were saying because you were tied into those ecosystems, I guess. Like when I talk to people who are a little more independent and they don't really know what to buy, and I said, "Do you want to buy a PS3 or do you want to buy an Xbox 360?" I always tell them, "Look, I think if you buy a PS3, if you buy a 360, you're going to miss out on like a dozen core franchises that are only on the PlayStation." But what I've come to realize is that a lot of people they just don't care. Like, sure, you have all these awesome franchises you're not going to get because you're going to miss out on all the PS3 games. You're going to miss out on the Nintendo stuff.
They might not be necessarily the games they want to play.
Well, it doesn't matter because there's so much on that system to begin with. So who cares if you don't have Zelda, Mario, Uncharted, God of War, all these things you're missing out.
Because 95% of the shit's still available.
Because you can just play Elder Scrolls. If you can just play Skyrim, you can just play Black Ops or whatever, and there's your 500 hours of gaming you're going to play that year on those two games. You don't need all those other things.
Yeah.
The way I personally think about it, when I explain to people when they come into the store and they really don't get it either, I explain that Nintendo is for exclusives, basically. Nintendo is the only way to play those franchises. You know, you got your Zeldas and your Marios. There's no other way to access that stuff.
Well,
If you
I'd
wanna
say the
play
same
those-
thing for Sony as well, to an extent.
I think then I explain the PlayStation 3 as for games. If you want to play a
Exclusive
lot
games,
of games, because they have more than anybody, because they have the entire third-party library plus the biggest first-party libraries out of anyone. And it's not centered around so much garbage. You can just sit there and play games. And there's a Sony exclusive coming out pretty much monthly. It's the place to get, if you are even a single-player type guy, or you want to do an occasional multiplayer, you get your PS3. If you want to sit there and play pretty
That
much
was amazing.
nothing but multiplayer, and you want to always be in groups and you always want to be with people, then you have to go with Microsoft because
Yeah.
and those are the three main differences behind that.
That's what I always describe it as well, too.
I don't know. Just like most people, if you don't care about playing multiplayer ever,
I would
always suggest a PS3.
I blame Andy.
But do you get the point where like there's just so much on each individual one where I think you're a rarity when it comes to like you have to have all of them.
I do.
A lot of people are more like, yeah, I'm missing out on those games, but who cares? Because there's so much.
I eventually get them all.
I bought it because I had a $100 off coupon during the blackout.
Like my Wii U, I will have a Wii U soon. Just I didn't get one at launch because it's not feasible to spend $500 on Mario for me. There's got to be 4 or 5 titles to make it worth.
For me being on Xbox, I completely blame Andy.
Why?
Because I had a Nintendo Wii, okay, and then Andy was upgrading his Xbox and sold me his old one, and that was the start of it. I didn't give a shit about it before that. I played it like twice. It's his fault.
No?
It's all
Good
your
job,
fault.
Andy.
Downvote me then.
We got any other bullet points?
No, I was just I only had a few main ones because I wanted to see where this one went. I really didn't have too much structure. I was just kind of letting everybody kind of go off into tangents or whatever. I don't know.
So it's like I think the consoles, the more they're trying to like make it universal, where you can get everything on everybody. When I say the consoles, I really mean Sony and Microsoft here, where they try to make them as almost all 90% of the games are on both, and almost all of
the media platforms
things you can do them on both. Where I think Tony, you've been talking for a few months about how exclusives don't matter. I still think they do to an extent, but it's becoming true because people. It's like before, like if you take us back to the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 days, or even the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis days, it'd be like, oh, you got a Sega Genesis, then you can't play Mario, you can't play Zelda, you can't play Chrono Trigger, you can't play all these Super Nintendo games. And that was like an awful feeling. Right? These are all these games I'm missing. Now when people who are like Xbox fans, like you can't play Uncharted, you can't play Infamous, you can't play God of War, it's like, I've got my stuff. There's just so much media.
I've got stuff that it may not be that game, but it's similar in style and everything.
Yeah, because it's just everything's just loaded
Infamous,
with content.
You've got a war.
Remember
You're gonna get Devil May Cry. You're gonna get.
There's
Anarchy
always
Reigns,
exactly.
you're
There's
gonna get,
Even with
Chainsaw.
Trials, they just made a PlayStation ripoff.
Not as good.
Have you played it? No, you just assumed.
No,
But
no, I just
I haven't
know
played it either. I'm just saying.
It comes out in 4 days on the PC. I'm just saying.
You buying it?
Not yet.
Yeah, you got to buy it.
I don't know.
You
It's
do get a
such
Sam Fisher suit though.
There you go. That's more reason.
You're not getting the new Splinter Cell?
No. If you pre-order Trials Evolution, Trials Gold, you get a Sam Fisher suit in the game.
I don't know. There's so much. It's crazy. I can't even keep up. It's another reason I haven't upgraded the 3DS. I'm still messing around with the DS because I got the Vita, and the little time I spend with the handhelds is always Vita now.
I'm getting my Ace card sent in, so I'm gonna have everything ever to play.
What's an Ace card?
All the games in one card.
Every game ever?
Every game ever if I feel like it.
Yeah.
Pirate.
Yep.
That's my Xbox has one of those, my originals.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, man. And then, like, sometimes me too, feeling nostalgic, I want to go back and play some old stuff. It's just like, I can't keep up.
Nope.
I can't keep up, and I feel like I miss out on a lot. And a lot of times, like, I know stuff like I didn't play the most recent Hitman, but it doesn't sound like I missed out on much just because so much other stuff is coming out. Huh?
No, it's so hard.
What's hard?
New Hitman.
Making faces.
Do you,
All of part one's pretty hard. Until you learn the map. Once you learn the map, it's pretty easy. But for new players,
This guy just restarts maps to shoot people in the nuts. So he had that shit mapped out.
What was it? You're in the police station. You come out the elevator to like go to the train station or whatever it was. I spent like 30 minutes there. It's like, how many guys can I plug with the assault rifle clip in that bullet mode?
we'll talk about
This
that
is
later.
what he does. Okay.
No, I've watched him play.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. You guys going to hop around, do some final thoughts, I suppose?
Sure. I, for one, completely agree, and I do think that the whole you're kind of tied to one console at this point is definitely going to come into place with the next consoles, especially if Xbox pulls one where it's back. They actually have some kind of backwards compatibility with the CDs. I think that's going to drag a lot of people over because right off the bat, then you'll have the games library that'll be bigger than what PlayStation will have, because you have to. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have you have to rebuy everything.
Yep.
Hopefully, it'll be cheap, but I think that's gonna be a big point of bringing over your game library from the previous console into the new one.
Jason?
I already did mine.
I think we're going to be seeing in the future a little more less
No, it happened.
like AAA big titles. I mean, we've already seen that. Those are becoming too expensive, I think. So a lot of less third parties, but higher quality games. But we're still going to get that flooding of smaller titles, and now there's more of a range of every game that comes out is no longer a $60 game. There's the $40 games, the $20 games, the $5 games, the $1 games, and the free PlayStation Plus games. That is going to contribute to this like massive amount of games out there. I do think we're going to see less full budget games though moving forward, minus these annual releases.
Yeah,
But there's just too much stuff. You really have to pick and choose. And me as an old school gamer, like even at my house, like the most played system is the NES, even to today. Like I haven't even got through the NES library.
That brings up another quick thing too. It's just like, I don't know. There was that. I don't know. Go ahead. It's fucking gonna bring up some messed up stuff, in my opinion. But go. I don't want to.
I said all that needed to be said.
With the NES, like I feel that was one of the best libraries up until this generation, with that whole gap in the middle, because there was just so many. I don't know if it's nostalgia that takes over and clouds your judgment, or if they really were. But for me, those whatever, there was not that high of a concentration of classic, amazing games in any other generation. Just the sheer amount, and how quickly they were coming out.
Even the bad games are good to some extent.
Like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh God,
is so bad, but it's a classic.
I hate that, but I play it every time I tell
I
them
know.
to you're hoping to beat that damn level.
God damn it! There's like 700 original NES games, and there's probably like 100 good ones and 600 bad ones.
Yeah.
But there are probably
Gold 13.
But there are probably like 300 memorable ones.
Yeah.
You know, they're not all good or bad, but they're all memorable.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of
300.
that
I mean, Jesus, that's a whole.
It's hard to come up with 50 good games on any console between NES and 360 PS3.
Yeah.
Because nowadays on PS3, Xbox, especially with how long they've been out,
Yeah.
I feel like I can easily point out 100 can't miss games.
Yeah, you can just
Yeah,
name like
probably.
5 series and get up to like 60 games.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
basically, yeah.
Like truly can't miss. But that entire generational gap between the NES and this current gen, I don't feel had that. Not on any one system. Genesis had 20 or 30 games. Super had 20 or 30 games. 64 had maybe 10. PS1 had a lot, but still PS2 30, 40 games. That's all.
Even the PS1, that had like 2,000 games for it, but it had like
30, 40
25,
games.
30 games that were memorable. You don't really remember the shitty games on the PS1, but we remember the Golden 13s.
Yeah.
I remember the shitty games. Battle Arena Toshinden. That's right.
A lot of the bad games of like the 64 PS1 era, like we remember them like now as being bad.
Yeah.
Like Superman 64, it's almost like a thing.
One of the
online.
worst games ever made.
Yeah, but nobody gave a shit
Well,
about
I mean,
Superman 64 10
Case
years
in
ago.
point, look at all the wrestling games that have come out. But we were sitting there like, oh, we need No Mercy again. Where's our No Mercy? Why haven't they re-released that?
Going through an old box, I found my WrestleMania 2000, my WWF No Mercy.
Yeah. See, those were two
like
of the.
two or three
Those
other
were two
ones,
of
too.
like the 15 and 64 games.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I have
yeah.
them. I still have them.
Oh, I love that game.
In this black cartridge, and the red one that
I
they
need to get
Oh,
an N64
WWF
again.
Attitude.
That sucked.
That
I
was
got
fun.
that one, yeah.
The only reason that I have 2 copies of that.
I
is
guess in
because
closing for me, it's unfortunate the way it's good and it's great for competition, and I understand that's the way the world has to work. But for me, in an ideal world, I wish, I've said this many times, that it would just all culminate into one thing. Maybe where Sony produced the hardware and Microsoft produced the software, like the operating system, just so we don't have any issues with that. Nintendo would come on board, and everybody would get in
their
this
games.
happy world where there's one ecosystem, and you could just
One world domination, new
You s-
world order.
yeah, you spend
Conspiracy
you,
theory
s-
here.
you spend that
wrong NWO. Sorry.
you spend that $500 or $600 on your hardware, and you are all set for
I'd spend a lot
the
of
next
money.
6 or 7 years, and you can have all these things playing nicely together, where you can pick up Mario and you could pick up the new God of War, all on the same system, and you don't have to worry about it. And there's one ecosystem, one group of friends, one
Super
spot.
Smash Brothers would be amazing.
One spot to buy all of your movies, where you don't have to worry. Everything could carry over.
This is probably what we would have had if the Soviet Union won the Cold War.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
You hear that, Apple? Tony wants you to buy up everybody.
No, I don't want anything to do with Apple ever.
Don't lie. You would do it if they bought everybody.
No, I wouldn't. I do not want Apple to get involved at all. I don't want 4-year-old technology at 3 times the price. I don't want it. But anyway, I know it'll never happen, and I'm happy with what we have now. It's just too much, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, if there wasn't the internet pointing a flashlight or a spotlight on it, right now I'd feel bad about missing on the Wii U. I know I'm not really missing anything besides Mario because nothing good has come out, but I only know that because of the internet. If this was 15 years ago, you'd be looking at the Wii U like, or at least me personally, I'd be like, God, I need to get it because those
Game Party Champions.
I'm missing access to literally 30.
That's what Ma said.
Okay.
No,
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
With such a focus on the different outlets just to be exposed to the media, you understand what you're missing.
Yeah.
As opposed like back in the day, you would walk into like
Back
a Toys
in
a Toys R Us, they wouldn't necessarily have everything on display there, so you only got to exposed to the commercials on that would follow TV shows. The one-page ads in the magazines and what you saw in stores.
If they went off TV ads, Sony wouldn't exist.
Reviews were months later.
Yeah, and that's why stuff like Metacritic is becoming so vital, so important these days. Because if a game comes out, brand new game, and it's got reviews like 78%, it sucks. Forget it. You've got already a dozen games that have come out that have a higher rating during that same 2 months.
85, 90s, yeah.
Yeah, and so.
But I'm just like, for me, like now I know better. That's all I was trying to get at with the Wii U is like I don't feel bad. I'm missing one game. I don't care yet. But back then, I don't know. It's
the same thing I was saying about Microsoft fans that are missing out on those.
They don't care.
Games.
Xbox
they don't
ones,
care.
They don't care
Who
because they
cares?
have the third-party stuff that's getting 80s, 90s, and then the
they only need their.
And they can't get through all that.
They might only need 4 games, 3
Yeah.
games for the whole year, and they have 800 hours of gameplay.
The last thing that I want to mention, because Moss kind of triggered the thought, is do you think there should be a standardized scoring system for these so that you can determine what's good and what's bad?
Well, that's what I think Metacritic
I think that's what
tried to
Metacritic
do. People hate it because some people's scales are different than others. Like, if you're on a 5-point like thumbs up scale or something, well, I don't know why you'd have 5 thumbs, but
yeah, no, like a 3 out of 5.
a 3 out of 5 is like, it's not our best. It's not quite the second best, but it's the third best score we have.
Yeah.
But translating that to a percentage, that's a 60%.
Yeah.
So like on a 6.0 out of 10 is awful, but a 3 out of 5 might be it's okay, not quite,
Yeah.
So it's especially like people with like 4-point scales.
I don't think it could ever work because I don't take reviews too seriously. I use them as a guideline because you always got to remember it's one person's opinion.
Well, that's what the whole point of Metacritic is, that they take
culminate
100
everything.
reviews in one, and even that is...
You got that one dude, I couldn't think he was further from the truth now that I've completed the game, that was talking... He's the only one that talked bad about Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah.
What was his name? You were the one that brought it up. He gave it like a 6 out of 10. And everybody else gave everybody else gave it 8s and 9s.
His name was Holden McGurn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, what site was that off of?
I just
Whatever
made
it
up a
was.
name, dude.
Oh, okay. I
Anyway,
just know,
Holden
yeah.
McGurn.
The point is, I agree with everybody else who gave it 8s and 9s because it's a really good game. In fact, it's the best game I've played this year. That's not saying much because we're only in March, but
It is saying a lot, actually.
right now it's game of the year for me.
Considering
It's
how
got to
much-
be dethroned.
Yeah.
How much content's come out
It
since
might have been off
January?
Polygon.
Yeah.
I think Polygon didn't like it.
So, but the point is, I mean, if he was the one guy that got chosen for the basis of this one universal grading system, it would have steered a lot of people away from Tomb Raider wrongly.
Cessor gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It's so weird to take a 3 out of 5 and a 6 out of 10. They're
not equivalent.
They're not equivalent,
Even though they are.
even though they are if you look math wise, but they're not.
Yeah, it's the lowest common whatever. What is it called? Lowest common denominator? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're both
Fractions, same shit.
It's the same fraction, but that just means so. It's completely different from that
Reduced
scale.
fractions.
Yeah, I haven't been in 6th grade math in a long time.
Yeah.
Something like this game gets 3 out of 4 stars. Like, 75%? Like, what?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
2 thumbs up. What does that mean?
Perfect, I
Like
guess.
200%?
It's why I don't know when people get so upset with reviews sometimes too. Like I see in comment section of, it's like somebody spent their time doing that, and that's one person's opinion on their experience.
Right.
Their experience. Not what every single person is going to experience while playing the game. Especially nowadays with the way the games are constructed, where they're getting less and less linear, where there's more and more options, more and more choices. The path they may have chosen may have had a bad outcome, which they didn't like. And the path you chose may have been a completely different. They're just trying to give you an idea of what the game is like before you invest your money. People get upset about that. They're trying to help you.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else? We got really far off the actual topic of the week this week. We're going all sorts of directions.
I tried bringing it back a few times.
Yeah, I know. Anybody else anything else to contribute?
Nope.
All right, thanks for tuning in. This has been... I fucked that up. Anyway, it's been episode 58. Thanks
That's
for tuning in. Catch you guys next week, same time, same place.
you.